Hello, and welcome to our very first look at the Roads of Power DLC, where we're going to be playing as a landless crime lord this morning. Trying out all the brand new stuff, hopping right into it. I reckon we'll go all the way back in time, as is tradition. The only real start to Crusader Kings, the earliest start. Our plan today is we're going to be checking out the new DLC. We're going to be playing as an adventurer character, who is one of the new options behind me. And we can kind of go anywhere we want. I figured I maybe wanted to start up in jolly old England, as I fancy myself a bit of a Robin Hood. But we're going to create our own brand new dweeb. We're going to make however we want. We're going to make him a young buck. I feel like a tough soldier. What do we know about our character? If he's going to be a bandit, he's probably going to be greedy. Perhaps wrathful. Brave? Hard to say. As a bandit? Deceitful, certainly. And you know, he could actually be more intrigue based than martial based if we wanted. Wrathful makes him not so good at intrigue, so we might not do wrathful. I think he's got to be ambitious. I think he's got to be an ambitious crime lord. Greedy, ambitious, and deceitful. That sounds like a good crime guy to me. He might also be callous. Heartless and cold-blooded. All right. All right. All right. He could be a rake, spending so much time in a brothel that it's basically a second home. That makes sense to me. Robin the Hood, give it to the man. An angry Robin Hood. Yeah, we're definitely not going rob from the rich and give to the poor. I think we're just going rob from the everybody and make crime. I want to see how much crime you could make, because crime apparently makes you like kind of public enemy number one. I think if he's a criminal, maybe being shrewd wouldn't be a bad choice. A shrewd, rakish bandit. Definitely a bastard. Just something about that seems correct. He is going to be a murderer. There's a couple new traits in here, veteran, adventurer, and follower. These are kind of for like when you retire from adventuring. Gallows bait is the thief's trick thing, so we're going to take gallows bait. And I feel like he needs a military trait here. Perhaps, I don't know that there's any jungles up this way. We could just go with something simple like flexible. You got to be able to rob people in every location, but we could also go with something like forest fighter and then stick to the forest with our bandits. Get rid of murderer. He should earn that in game. You know what? You're right. You're right. And I'm going to get rid of gallows bait. He's going to become... This is going to be the birth of his story. I'm going to give him forest fighter because it feels like the right... Hills, mountains, and wetlands. I'd like him to have a lot of archers. Yeah, you know what? I feel like Forest Fighter's not bad. So we could up him to a Skilled Tactician. He's got pretty good intrigue going on here right now as well. I figure if he's a Robin Hood, he's probably more of like a bow user. So we could give him something like Hunter. If that's still in here. Which, it's actually not. I guess you got to get it from hunting. All right. Why don't we just put some stats up? His prowess would be nice if it was a bit higher. Perhaps a little bit into diplomacy. 2 points in diplomacy. He'll get Hunter during gameplay. All right, so we are a skilled tactician who is greedy, ambitious, deceitful, and callous. A rake, a shrewd, a bastard, and loves fighting in the forest. How do we want to look? He's such a young boy. I feel like, can we get like a villain's mustache? We definitely can. There's a couple in there that I think would work. I think it's the Iberian goatee I'm looking for. Or the Carolingian mustache. I feel like he's got to have like dark brown or black here. He's so funny looking as this little child. I want to just like randomize. Hold on. We're going to randomize him until we get like a face that's... I think we could work with this face. The evil mustache. He's got to look greasy. That's got to be the rule. Low single braid. What do we think has got the greasiest look here? He feels like such a rakishly handsome bandit at this point. That might be it. Pulled back medium wavy, I think is it. He looks ridiculous. Give him a ponytail. Cloak and dagger education make more sense. The thing is that we're going to be a bandit, so we're going to have to do both martial stuff and skullduggery, I think. We'll give him a real Cyrano de Bergerac nose. How about that? Just a big schnoz on him as well. It's the right look. He's going to have low body fat. Can't change his bust size, obviously. We'll make him kind of short. He's going to be a short king. Dick Dastardly, yes. Absolutely. All right. And our little crime lord needs a name. A name and a dynasty. We could just be like the crime dynasty, but that seems a little too on the nose. We could be the brigandage dynasty. New Robin Hood movie with Adam Driver looks great. Is this a real movie or are you making fun of my character? And this is actually the perfect coat of arms. I love that he keeps getting the name Job. He could just be Joseph. Old Joe Brigandage. Oh, maybe the Dastardly is the better last name. Comment on the size of the nose of your character. Yes, okay. It does need to be flipped a little bit. Can we flip the... that sideways? We'll take Dastardly. Old... I like Joseph. We'll call him Joe Dastard. Old Joe Dastard. He's ready to boogie. Medici is a great crime family. They are famously so. Famously so. West Germanic. I kind of want it to be like English, which is what, under West Germanic? Okay, we're Anglo-Saxon right now. I kind of wanted to go English because we get longbow competitions. And that just kind of felt right. Old Joseph Dastardly. He's perfect. The Rogues of Warwickshire. Oh, that's a great name, isn't it? I feel like that's perfect. I'm just going to throw all the game rules on default. And we're going to hop right in. The reputation of Edward VIII, Windsor would be a good crime name too, not to mention Prince Andrew. The path ahead stretches on and on, a lonely winding thread twining towards the distant horizon. My camp is quiet. A few scattered tents and pack animals yawning in the breeze. Strangers and hangers-on rise with the day, preparing for their morning chores with reluctance. Most of the miscellaneous chaff that flit in and out of the group on the road with each new settlement. Few faces catch my eyes as ones I recognize, at least more in than passing. This will be an army someday. No thefts in the night. Count on some good scrappers. I like that we start with some like basic crime. Go for some thefts in the night. Now let me just fix my camera, make sure I'm actually in the right spot here for us. Boop, 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 boop. Roughly. And we have the new mode. We've got charity jobs. Perform in a play in Wales. Protect the innocent. Our camp is in Warwick. Gather provisions. Visit the castle. Moving your camp. Get more contracts. This is the new camp screen. The heart of the camp, a cluster of tightly packed tents, around its leader's residence. Supply tents, barber tents, baggage trains, mess tents, campfires, proving grounds, camp perimeters. I want to set ourselves off to become freebooters. Find criminal contracts of all kinds. More prowess and intrigue contacts. Oh, prowess is actually more important than martial for us. Master thief, manhaggler, and the master of spoils. Brigand is such an ugly term. There's nothing wrong with being decisive and practical, especially if you can turn a tidy profit at the same time. Oh, wow. We got a nice new outfit. You're playing as a landless adventurer. You're an adventurer. Travel the world, visit the courts of rulers, find works, complete contracts, improve your camp, recruit followers, and build up a vast roll of patrons. Your camp is here, your base of operations. You can gain followers which serve as like courtiers. You may also acquire new followers by taking and visit holding decisions. As an adventurer, your primary source of income will be contracts. You can see them represented as scrolls on the map. Your level of fame determines the contract tier of contracts. Obtaining distinguished level of fame unlocks higher purchasing or conquering of lands. You can get new contracts by moving your camp, which costs provisions. You can view details about your camp in the Realm tab. Change your camp purpose. Accept contracts, move your camp, explore different parts of the world, grow your following. You have the freedom to choose your future. Will you stay on the road, try to gain a title, or meddle with the affairs of rulers across the world? No lifestyle. Martial schemes. All of these are different now. Yeah, I guess we should have went intrigue more than martial, but you know what? What's done is done. We can still do crime. And we have no player heir. We also have no spouse because, of course, we're just a landless adventurer. Who would want to marry us? Certainly no nobles. This is exactly like Battle Bros. Protect the innocents, perform and play, solicit charity. Let it be known amongst you, the Earl of Lancaster offers Catholic patronage to pious, cultured, or learned enough to deserve it. Do you think we can trick this guy into thinking we deserve charity? Complete a learning scheme. We have a knave, a fearless atheist, all sorts of new positions. Personal physician, caravan master, our second. This is kind of like your wife. Stooge, bodyguards. Oh, you guys are not good at things. You're a good torturer. You'd make a good second. All right. Which I guess Marcus the Devil, that means you're my caravan master. Scout for talent. Enables events to recruit wanderers for gold if you have open positions for officers. Bartering, search for secrets. Encourage relationships. Purchase Pathfinder's gear. Purchase kits. I feel like we should customize our route here. When we leave Warwickshire, we should visit all these. We're just going to like march Hadrian's Wall is what we're going to do. There's potential for danger, but also we're bandits. Isn't danger kind of like our job? We learn a little bit as we go. If we need a woman, we can abduct her or win her in a fight. No, we'll get some fine women to join our bandit crew. No doubt. Taking our way to see Earl Oswin thankfully proved surprisingly easy, with a hunt of enticing mystery about our purpose to greet the wheels. Once granted an audience, our purpose becomes clear fairly quickly. As learned freebooters, we depend on the largesse of enlightened rulers to keep doing our good work, and so the Earl reluctantly agrees to let us stay for a time, but that's all. So they've changed the way schemes work. Beg from Earl Oswin. Higher success chance, balanced range. Currently, our success chance is terrible. Cleric, footpads, gabbers, cleric, shills, outcasts, cleric, shill, outcast, footpad. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're here to earn. So now when you do schemes, they have a bunch of new stuff on them. You can kind of like focus on countermeasures if someone is scheming on you. You can also find like outcasts and shills. This guy would make a good outcast. This guy would make a fine shill. A friendly voice from a perfect stranger can go a long way in a crowd, and really, who's to say who knows what? Go through a moment to go through complex schemes. This is the new scheme stuff. Play out over the course of several phases. Your success chance will increase. There's a chance you obtain an advantage after each phase. You can spend it to convince agents to join or execute the scheme with a higher success chance. Associated scheme potentials. Potential can be increased through the use of agents. Can never exceed 95%. Complex scheme has a certain level of secrecy attached to it. Represents how likely it is for it to be discovered. You can execute a scheme even if it has breaches, but it will be at a reduced chance. Complex schemes have 5 agents. Fill as many of the agent slots as possible. They rely on different skills. Once you feel confident you've plotted enough, it might be time to consider executing your scheme. Use your accrued advantages. If someone is scheming against you, you can do countermeasures. One of our followers got a cat. Tomorrow the DLC is available. I think it's tomorrow, the 24th, I want to say. Boy, we are not got a very high success chance here. Following a sentry, I enter a dimly lit tent next to the pavilion where a bedraggled trio of locals await me. They look nervous. Greetings, your lordship. Name's Herbrick. The big lad's Seawold. The other's Beothric. We're here to enlist. We're hard workers, at least within our field. And the way we sees it, you could use some help building up your name and lining your pockets. You gotta pay into the pot first. You lose stress because you're greedy. Who do we have? Herbert the Heathen. Ah, they're all good criminals. We get them to pay into the pot. Nobody's joining our criminal gang if we don't have a good plan for him. All right. We can have a couple of clerics in here. And then I guess this guy is just a footpad. That'll help us do some scheming. Heist treasury. Burn property. Something tells me we should just scheme our way out of here and go rob something. I sit by my pavilion, letting the sounds and smells of the camp wash over me. It's different from a life within the walls of the palace, so very different. The freedom is easy to enjoy, no obligations, no counselors, no dignitaries, none of the downsides of the trapping of power. Yet the freedoms are dearly purchased. The constant scrapping for survival wears thin. Every night I yearn for a bed. A lust for land. No, I don't think so. We can gain the trait Traveler, but I'll get stressed out because I'm ambitious. Or we can get a chance to pick up Flexible Leader. Best to keep my options open. Why take the stress if we don't got to? Are any of these guys good at other jobs? This guy's strong. I'm going to make him my bodyguard. There's no cost in appointing people to these jobs, which is kind of cool. Quartermaster officer, a barber tent. We have enough money to get some upgrades here as well. I'm afraid if I buy one Paradox DLC, I'll be living on the street by Christmas. Eagle, hello. Good morning. We trudge down the road, a hovel building hoves into view. The battered sign outside reads the Druid's Arms Inn. We barely got room for our current lodgers, and especially not you ragtag types. I'm afraid I absolutely require lodging. You gain comfortable trappings for 10 years. Lose 5 gold, gain some dread, or gain the trait Gallows Bait. Or things get out of hand and I kill her. Your head's taken with a discount on top. We're living the life now. Fireside chats. Scout for talent. What do we need here? A roaring campfire, a mess tent. Baggage train supply tent. I feel like we're gonna be doing crime. I feel like a roaring campfire is a good thing to start with. 7 months left. Build some upgrades. All right, look, and we're just going to bail out of here. I don't want to be begging for money. This is below us, beneath us. 22%. All right, we got to do one more. You need at least 5 advantages to execute the scheme. Getting the murder trait easier than expected. It's never too hard to murder. 7 months to build a fire. Look, it's going to be a big fire, okay? You wait and see. It's going to be the best fire, the greatest fire. Visit universities. Camp revelry. You can go hunting, and if you don't have permission from the king, I guess it counts as poaching. So that's something we could do. So we could also just become poachers. A figure stumbles into camp, dirty and tired, in need of a square meal. His name is Siebert. There's a lot more like me, all of us left to rot after every petty conflict ends. Our sword arms work as well as ever, but our lot is to wander and starve. We're the only ones left who won't rob the vulnerable for food and valuables. Despite his haggard bearing, I'd rather die. You're better than I and more foolish, I say, because I'm callous. I rob him of money and a brooch and become a bandit. Hot damn, dudes. Things are going well for us. The bandit's life's a good life. All right, we got a 30%. Let's just seize the moment. Failure. Throughout our stay, the Earl's attitude towards us grows even worse, not helped by our attempts to wheedle gifts and promises out of him at every opportunity. With every passing day, his irritation mounts. As my miscalculation becomes apparent, so too does the inevitable charge of vagrancy that awaits us. Whatever, I'm out of here. We're gonna go heist the treasury. Earl reminds you of the punishments of theft or conspiracy to commit theft and the bounties for those suspected of such. Only I may access the treasury. Earl Whiston of Beddenford pays you 135 gold. You get the thief, and if you wish, you might try to steal even more gold. Let's go, baby. Our roaring campfire has also been built. The Travels of Joseph Dastardly. So this is the major adventurer decision we want to go for. Levy the outcasts. A master of the gutters, sons and daughters, an army of the most heinous scoundrels bound to my cause and whim to wreak havoc upon the weak and strong alike. Bonuses to martial intrigue. Every time you complete an intrigue, you get unique men-at-arms. Depends on your progress as in gallows bait. We have to become a schemer. Oh, no, we need at least 3 of the following, so we don't have to become a schemer, but that's a quick path to getting this. I love how there's just like a war going on and we're just out robbing treasure. Preliminary scouting around Beddenford suggests we might be able to get away with this. It's not the only place that Earl has kept his coin, but his holdings here are definitely plentiful, and the guards don't seem to expect hostilities. Risky, but doable. Success chance, max 30. Higher scheme phase length. Success chance or a balanced range of contributions. Let's go balanced. So what do we got? We got a couple good thieves. Some good scouts. 1 good footpad. Macus the Devil, you really are my best at everything. God, most people are so useless. All right, I'm going to take this guy in as an infiltrator. Herbert, are you good at anything? You're kind of good at being a scout. You're absolutely abysmal at everything else, so... No way to learn but like this. All right, that puts us at a max of 61. We'll do our scheming. Scour the land for provisions. Just like an army, a camp marches on its stomach. The wilds of Beddenford may be combed for fare. You, your chief forger, or your huntsman can search for provisions every 3 years. I'm interrupted from my stroll near the fire pit when the approach of a nervous stranger who introduces himself as Gedala. Lord, I find myself ill at ease in these lands, and I hoped so worldly a man like yourself might prove willing to take in a homeless ravenist. He pauses, steeling himself for a clearly expectant rejection. I understand if you've too many people to care for, but if you'll have me, I'll serve you loyally. He's a dwarf, and he's disloyal. He's a drunk, a diplomat, but he's like pretty good. I feel like one learned dwarf feels like a good choice. He might be worthwhile. I have no forger, no huntman. We can do a learning challenge or a prowess challenge. With my snares, I will feed us. Successfully. I don't know if we could put him in somewhere else on this scheme, but... Who among us has not been disloyal to a bandit king? I know, right? He makes decent physician. Ooh, we might as well. He's the best physician we've got. I like that we took it a disloyal dwarf. He's a real Tyrion of a character for sure. Hope he's not too short-sighted. Each night, one fire becomes the hub of camp's social activity. People coalesce around my inner circles to wag tongues and trade friendly barbs. Look, all I'm saying is that poor Marcus might be the least honest person I've ever met, but you can't say a conversation of his in a wild ride, eh, Marcus, if that is your real name. A chorus of inebriated guffaws breaks out from the easily pleased onlookers, though it all seems to be wearing on Marcus. I don't think I need to make fun of anybody. I'm just going to soak it all in. It's nice to see all of our band of rabble-rousers getting together so well. Natural dread. Okay, so Overseer is all about if you want to do a bunch of, like, a mercenary work. I do feel like we are a stalwart leader. Reduce the risk of commanding armies. But realistically, I think I'm going to swap back over to Intrigue, and we're going to go for Schemer. If we can, which we can't. Not yet. Okay, so this is like something we're much better at doing these jobs. You can see how much faster it's moving. And I think if we spend advantages, we can probably go over 61%. That's not super clear with me. That's a 50-50. Let's seize the moment. Yes! Like imps tweaking the nose of St. Matthew, my band and I sneak into the treasury. A lock quickly picked, a sentry judiciously stabbed, and suddenly the wealth of Bedenford unveiled before us. Our sacks are filled as quickly as we can and we're gone. Hang the consequences. Just hopefully don't hang us. You know, there's plenty more back there. We can get 135 bucks. Or... he has up to 124 of lootable gold and accoutrements remaining, which can be stolen in increments of 50. Upon returning, you will always be able to test your intrigue to steal more. Test one of the following at random: martial prowess or stewardship, prowess or intrigue of your agents, the aptitude of your master thief and your master of spoils. Take stress to automatically pass a test. Escape with your earnings. If you fail twice, you will be imprisoned and your earnings forfeit. You gain extra gallows bait experience proportional to how much you steal. The earnings from this contract have already been secured and will remain yours regardless. Double back to the castle, ready to loot. We filled our pockets with silver coins stolen straight from the Earl's treasury. But there's plenty more value to be found in his castle. Golden candlesticks, elaborate tapestries, fine linen clothing, sacred texts, and more. All the many accoutrements that the Gordor likely takes for granted, but which a humble freebooter represents profit. All we need to do is ransack the man's hearth and home before we are discovered and hightail it into the night. Stay low, knives out, or patrols come and get him from both sides. Stay low, knives out. Slitting the throat of a late rousing sentry, I catch the body and guide it gently, quietly to the floor before kicking it into the deepest shadow I can find. Wiping the blood off my blade, I toss the poor fool's post. Some fancy embroidery here, a little silver here, it all adds up. That's for a good cause. If the rest of the defenders are lucky, they'll be in a less auspicious environment, for I suspect there's still valuables to be looted down the hall. Erntrad. Intrigue challenge. What have you found? Erntrad has found plenty as it transpires, gleefully whispering a short inventory of the items he's hurriedly stolen in his rush to burgle the place. A good tally, plenty for the haul, and the adrenaline of the theft ought to help carry us through the evening. I calmly lift an expensive-looking wall hanging and fold it back into my own sack. I wouldn't do to let my followers outperform me too much, after all. We've got enough. Let's get out of here. That's an extra $100. Oh, I don't know. I need 2 breaches to fail, right? Knives out. Proved to be an excellent precaution as we encounter far too many troublesome sentries scattered throughout the place during our advance. Some were here the whole time, others drawn by the noise of our initial entry. But either way, the presence is an indicator that we're beginning to draw notice, too much notice. I've refocused on what's important for the time being. All right, let's get out of here. That's a breach, I think. Like shadows in the night, we're away. The first roars of alarm and outrage are simply distant echoes by the time they reach our ears. They dull sound off for our consequences, easily ignored as we survey our glorious hall. The collected wealth of Bedenforn stripped bare from its lord's hall and messily bundled at our feet. Let's sell this loot. I assume I gotta pay out my guys. I don't even know that I do. Here's an example of a destination at a fair distance away from your current camp. You may plan to travel to any selected barony in the country. I don't really want to move. I guess we did just commit a big crime. All right, you know what? We'll do it. We got to learn. We'll also visit the Canterbury Basilica, which will be nice. Move your accursed dead, damn it. This is my spot, cries Makis. During my evening walk, Gedalea seems unmoved, simply folding his arms across his chest. It can't be your spot if I got my tent up on it, can it? Desperate for higher authority, Makis whirls around to me. Boss, please, I beg of you, discipline this wretch. Makis is my second, right? No, he's my caravan master. You lose stress because you're deceitful. I'm gonna side with my buddy. Get a favor hook. And I tell you what else? We got enough to get another slot here. How do I get, like, the Master of Thieves things? That's what I want to know. More transport contracts, skirmisher regiments. Prowess scheme phase length. For the mess tent. A chef cook. A master at arms. Forward scouts. I feel like a proving grounds is what we should build. We are bandits. Name something murder. I don't think we can name our followers. If we had like a kid, we could. As we pass by Kingston, I pass a peculiar looking tent with an occupant inside. Come on in, mighty boss. I can tell you've got many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a price. The strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage, but am I willing to pay for this reading? Or do I want to seal the tent and have this witch burned? Burn him. Burn that witch. Now you've arrived, new contracts will be available. You may move your camp at any time to find new contracts. And new opportunities will arise as long as you travel far enough. At least 2 de jure duchies away from your old campsite is a minimum rule of thumb. Collect taxes. Burn property. Well, obviously we're going to do the criminal jobs. Diligent itinerants of suitable character. Generous pay is offered for an urgent ground clearance. Confidentiality is a necessity. Hasten to the Wilton Sheeran Earl's Castle. Seems pretty straightforward. This letter from the Earl was illuminating. He seems incandescent with rage over some petty slight from Gamal, real or imagined, and eager to put the man in his place, but not so prepared to spill blood. The Earl's plan is to have us set fire to some lesser property that he's involved with, or reduce it in whatever way feels suitable. Job's a job. Don't have to make a return trip or travel without the domicile. Smaller group travels faster. That's cool. So I had like the opportunity to move everything with me. Wiltshire seems a pleasant place. We visited Stonehenge on the way. Ashamed to visit under such unpleasant circumstances. Close to nightfall, a small band of my followers and I await the shadows not too far from our target. A well-stocked winery brimming with barrel after barrel of fine vint. It's the barrels, the sweet wine that we're here to destroy. The Earl didn't seem fit to explain whether his victim owned the place, had interests, or merely held some affection. Preserve your anonymity, reducing gallows bait, stay quiet, or axes at the ready, let's get bloody. This method will reveal your identity, increasing gallows bait, and make it easier overall. We add the Earl to our roll of patrons. Gain 20 experience as a bandit. Lose a bunch of strats because we're callous and deceitful. I mean, this seems like the right job. I want some gallows bait. A good plan begets swift victory, and a despoiled winery is ample proof of that. Leading the fighting myself, my followers and I make swift work of those unlucky enough to find themselves inside, cutting them down without thought or mercy. We leave the bodies where they fall, tossing out firebrands into the likeliest spots and piling flammables onto the resulting blaze. Messy work, but effective. Our worthy victory merits a fat purse. What am I meant to do with all this money? So that was also the first character we've gotten as a patron. Can I upgrade my camp? Yes, that's what you do with your money. There is a section where you're meant to be able to see your patrons. But I'm not sure where. There it is. Earl Erdbert of Wiltshire. He doesn't like us because we're Gallowsbait scum. My dude, you're the one who gave us the job. We can make a request for a men-at-arms regiment. Or for a marriage. Because we took the English trait, we can actually make longbowmen as well. Which I think would be a good choice for us. We've done our first sets of crime. We robbed the place. We burned another place down. The culture in Canterbury here is unfamiliar. Some customs are equally alien. It's a local recipe, supposedly authentic Anglo-Saxon, a nearby merchant says, who is acting as our cook for the evening. I look at the substance with suspicion. Is that stewed ferret with onion? Blend it with herbs from English cuisine. Does such a thing exist? Are there herbs in English cuisine? New tastes. The narrow-minded. No, we'll give it a try. Yuck. British food. Barf. How did I get the DLC? You can't find it under CK3 DLCs. Only way I can find it is the bundle, Chapter 3, which is a bit expensive. It's probably bundled together right now, but then comes out, yeah, on the 24th. So you'll probably be able to get it on then. Longbowmen 200 years early? I know, that's our real cheat. Do you think we could collect taxes, but then, like, keep the taxes for ourselves? We'll travel across the sea. Try to make a name for ourselves in France. Boss Joseph. In short order, I am introduced to other magnates of the town. We are sure you will agree with us when we say we simply could not and would not hide anything from the Count. It's obvious shaking in his voice wasn't a giveaway. The sweat pouring off him would be. Ooh. Saint Omer, the courtier. Courtier. This guy is the Count. I'm gonna start with the Count. His quarters as the city mayor are surprisingly extensive. He leads me to a room that clearly serves conferences, the settlement's most important people, seating me at the head of the table. Honorable boss. I love that everyone calls me boss. Surely you must see to the Count's avarice is misplaced. He's vested you with his authority. Help us in this matter, and we will see to it that the world knows of your generosity. If only I brought a quartermaster. Trickster. Diplomacy challenge. Stewardship challenge. I'm just gonna rob everybody. You gain 5 trade experience in being Gallowsbait. I don't care if people are upset at me. I'm a crook. Of course, the mayor moans and frosts about his lost silver, but once my follower is secure, there's not much he can do. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, and this man's likely misbegotten gains sit so snugly in my hand. Even if I'm taking them has cut off our ability to investigate him, may the next be as profitable. Stephanie. She's taking her wealth from renting hostels. I think I'm meant to be investigating everybody and not just robbing them all. I mean, they just wanted me to collect taxes. They didn't really say what for. I know it seems like we're doing well for ourselves, but this is hardly the first extra duty that the Count has put on us this year. Nor will I suspect it be the last. You must understand. Look for telltale signs of misdeeds. This we're good at. Lead the conversation down the usual avenues, making sure to leave enough pauses and trailing trains of thought to give Stephanie plenty to slip up on. It doesn't take too much to pry the truth from her, something that she seems near terminally surprised by. Philippe's business seems to be tied up heavily in medicines, healing, and proving of good midwives. An unusual occupation for a magnet, but certainly one with ample demand. I'm a busy man, you're a busy man. I'll be blunt. If we had the money, we'd pay it gladly, but we don't, and that's sufficient. My mind fits back to a large chest of what seems to be silver we passed on the way in. I'm just going to rob you. I could just do this, I guess. This guy has got a well-stocked armory and a smithy that provides weapons and ammunition to the militia. I'm a busy man, you're a busy man. I wouldn't mind the learning challenge here. We talk what feels like a better part of the day, discussing every conceivable aspect, no stone left unturned. It doesn't take much effort to prise the truth from him, something that he seems surprised by. I have made my decision. We gather in the mayor's chamber, a suitably dramatic place to render my verdict. With the count's word behind me, there will be a binding one way or another. They all await the pronouncement on their face with bated breath. Lootbrand seems nervous for the first time since my arrival. My gut tells me he could likely pay some of it, and my investigations have largely borne that out. Well, I'm callous, so I'm not going to fail on this. You find in favor of Count Rudolph, but ease the tax burden nonetheless. He pays me 19 gold, and you gain provisions. Pay him in full. If I've gathered sufficient pieces of evidence... If you lack evidence, but the locals backed down... Add Count Rudolph to my roll of patrons. If you lack evidence and the locals rise up. You've gathered 2 pieces of evidence out of 4. You've investigated 4 characters. With sufficient pieces of evidence collected, your investigation will most likely conclude with a success if you force them to pay enough. I mean, I don't know. I have 2 out of 4. That seems like enough. You have enough evidence on your side to make for a compelling case that the locals can afford their most recent bill. The defeated world-weary sighs from all around tells me that this mayor and his fellows know it. You've made your point. We'll pay the count his due. Everybody hates me. But we got a new patron. Count Rudolph of France. Oh, he's an elusive shadow. My man. Make a request for a grand tournament. Or I could ask him for money. He wants me to abduct someone. Oh yeah, this guy's my jam. Me and this count, we're getting along real good. I found making noises when sitting down at campfire in the evening. The elders talk about how that happens when you get older, but I'm only 21. Such is the wear and tear of a life lived rough. I can see the toll it takes on others too. Seawold winces a bit as he slumps down next to me. Upgrade your pavilion building for a discount. Lose 100 gold. Add a pavilion to Joseph's camp. My God, dude, I was literally just about to do this. And now I get a discount for it, and I lose stress. Did that upgrade? It didn't really look like it did. Didn't really look like it worked because I was upgrading something else at the same time. Well, we'll upgrade it anyway. And then let's go do this criminal job. Marauding. Might as well keep scouting for talent. And go do some kidnapping. The choppy waters are enough to make any experienced sailor seasick. As we roll back and forth on the waves, the people on the ship are slowly moving to seek shelter below. I noticed Bjorthik looking out over the railing before turning to make his way towards hull deck. Before anyone has time to react, the ship hurls sideways and he falls into the dark water. The crew scour the waves to save Bjorthik. 11% chance he drowns. Or we could just keep going. No, let's try to save him. He is club-footed. But he's a crook, just like us. No crook left behind. Honor among thieves. The instructions from Count Rudolph are clear. Find a time when Aubrey is vulnerable. Dispatch any guards he might have and bring him back to Calais, alive and in chains. The good Count didn't go into great detail about exactly why he wants this particular man kidnapped, but he's not really our place to ask. Thug muscle lookout decoys. Thug footpad. I think I'm going to take the balanced range here. Looks like secrecy and success. Yeah, so this is a breach scheme. So if I fail 5 breaches, I'll get busted. Oh, interesting. Okay, thugs are prowess and intrigue. Muscle is just prowess, strong and athletic, wrathful and callous. Cool. So Beothric the Lame actually makes a really good thug. Seawald makes a good muscle. 85% chance to success. If I want to max this, I either get like 10 here, but lose 9. I think it all ends up working the same. I think that'll do. 95% secrecy? That's pretty good. That was a lot higher than I thought it would be. Yeah, I'm a little confused about how the advantages work. If they just like increase your chance of success or what the deal is, but I do like the new scheme system. It looks a lot nicer. Rounding a little cluster of tents as I leave my pavilion, I come across a gaggle of followers. Geldra and Herbrek are amongst them, neither of whom particularly enjoy each other's company. Before I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating, he mutters something inaudible only for the whisper to send Gelida into a blind rage. This option is available because I have freebooters. Settle with a proper duel. Duel to the death. I have this guy who sucks versus this guy who is my friend and my physician. He also has 0 prowess, so if there's a duel, he's probably dead. Oh, they can duel anyway, but because we're freebooters, we can get a better duel. All right, why not settle this with a proper duel? Oh, he won! The disloyal dwarf! with no combat skills. Beat the shrewd gallows bait traveler who wasn't really doing anything. I love it. You love to see it. Oh, okay. And I have to pay gold and provisions to refill my soldiers. Oh, it's pretty cheap though. I wonder, can I just make a massive army of longbowmen and travel the world? Trial by combat, choose your champion? Clearly, the little disloyal dwarf. Life in close quarters tends to magnify relationships, good and bad. Fortunately for these dweebs, their common interest in the constant clamor and cackling of terminally sociable has proven to be a strong bonding agent. The two laughing and joking together at camp and riding alongside each other on the road is becoming an increasingly common sight. Encourage the friendship. Try to break them apart or just say good for them. Good for them. I don't need to intervene in the love life of my companions. The secret love life. I like that there's not a time limit on these. It doesn't really seem. Like they're kind of like, no, do the crime when you're ready for it. Take your time, do the crime. The guest of King Charles. We'll go one more. We might as well go straight up to 85 and then abduct him. The campfires crackle, illuminating a figure entering our circle. He moves with vigor despite the lateness of the hour, hand wrapped in a walking stick. Do you have place for a man of God? He smiles. Such figures are well known in Catholic circles. The traveling preachers spread the word of God to every nook and cranny of the world. You gain the trait Traveler. I mean, why not? And we're ready to scheme. 0 months of grace left. Most schemes have a grace period of around 6 months before they can be discovered monthly. After the grace period is over, schemes may be discovered monthly, causing a breach. Oh, okay. So I was a little... That's, I guess, the other side. Before Aubrey even knew what was happening, my agents had him. He finally is in our hands. Count Rudolph, spits Aubrey as I put the bag from his head. I might have known it was you. Rudolph smiles and gestures for the prisoner to get on his knee. Without ceremony, I kick him in the small of his back, sending the man sprawling to the floor. An excellent job, Joe Dastardly, crows my employer as he tosses me a heavy purse. Worth every coin. I think we might move to France, folks. Seems like there's good work for us there. This guy seems to like us. Perhaps we could hire some captains so that we don't go overboard this time. We are bringing everybody with us. Proficiency capacity, romancing, knight effectiveness. That seems good. We're going to be a chivalrous bandit, I guess. Mug wealthy citizens, hired muscle, murder foes. We're experiencing a plague of petty theft. Take a firm club with you when you walk the streets and stay indoors after dark. The Count will deal with these retrobates. No, have to wait a moment here. French are deceitful. There was a guy known as Deceiver in France that has the same name as you. For the authority I supposedly wield as boss, I cannot be everywhere in my camp at once. There will always be those who forget to obey my orders. This is where the caravan master could come in, who has been faithfully enforcing my decrees while touring the countryside. Could he serve as my right-hand man? Macus the Devil. I mean, he seems pretty good. Ah, we also have access to a Master of Arms now, but the only guy is terrible at it. We just picked up this sea captain. I didn't know that she was going to stay like a permanent follower, though. Complete a prowess scheme. Throughout the scheme, you will also be given special events to mug wealthy locals for extra gold. I mean, that seems like a pretty good job. Can we have troops? Yeah. So we have a men-at-arms regiment. Which I am slowly expanding. Oh, I do have another slot here. I feel like a mess tent is a good idea. Get ourselves a cook. We got 200 longbowmen as well. Le Mauvais in English. The wicked. Yeah, I kind of like the bad as well. Surname was de Necker, which in Flemish meant evil spirit. This DLC is looking amazing. I'm digging it so far. Back alley robbery. We noticed that the count had holds truer than expected. Lil seems to be experiencing a barrage of petty crime. Even making our way into the city, we were able to count a dozen pickpockets and one outright mugging. Far too much work for the beleaguered households of the count to deal with. An absolutely perfect environment for enterprising freebooters like ourselves to make a little coin. Count of Lil. Yeah. Keep this one balanced. Marcus, you make a great outcast. You also make a good footpad, though. Yatrick, you're my thug. Marcus, I think you have to be my footpad. You're going to have to be my outcast. My gabber. And my lookout. I don't like the look of this one so far. Oh, but the phases are really quick. Gedaliah is now known as Elbow High because he's no taller than a child, much to the petty amusement of his peers. Oh. As afternoon trickles into evening, I stifle a yawn. Crime may pay well, but so much of it simply involves waiting. Although, hold off, this man looks promising. Yes, it's Hunfred, mayor of Courtrage. He must be visiting the capital on personal business. Very personal to travel unescorted, taking such disreputable shortcuts. All I need to do is give the command and the poor fool will learn the meaning of regret. Knives out. Bandits. Marcus, see what you can do. You just became my right-hand man. You receive 0 special muggings out of a possible 4. Let's see what my right-hand man can do. Let's put him to work. Macus triumphs. How did he develop a grudge against me if he didn't know that I was robbing his purse? Like if I slid it silently, you know? We're going to have to be careful with things like grudges because they will probably try to kill us. Or get some payback. Our little forest of tents putting itself up every few evenings is something we've gotten very, very good at. First one, then another, with people and tools spreading down the lines to help the neighbors in a model of speed and efficiency. Even Macus and Seawald, who aren't generally well known, are quietly humming along as they aid each other. A place for everything and everything in its place. I'm glad they're getting along. All right, we are maxed out here, but I tell you what, we can just like keep building up advantages. And we also have 4 of these back alley robberies to do, so I'm probably just going to let us keep building these up. After a largely fruitless day with nary so much as a wealthy peasant coming out of our picking grounds, we finally catch a bit of luck with a man of clear means. I recognize him as Bartholomew, a local magnet of wealth. Is this the guy that we collected taxes from? I think it is. I'm going to do this one myself. He's none the wiser. Developed a grudge against me. The wording is confusing. You got a rat in my camp. I hope not. So this is an example where, because the scheme length is really short, because we have these really good guys, we're actually able to build up a whole bunch of these advantages really quickly. I got 0 months of grace left, but I don't know. We also have 0 breaches. Wandering outside of the camp, I come across a clearing in the forest, rich with all manner of colorful berries. Unlike any I've seen before, and look so tantalizingly delicious, it would take my followers less than an hour to pick them all. Could these be a much-needed gift from God, or a trick from Fortuna meant to test us? Life's an adventure. Ah, we ate poison. The grim smell of bubbling tinctures and mashed salves assault my senses as I make my way to the physician's workroom. The time has come, my lord. I know of several ways to treat it. It's fine. I just ate some poison. He gets me to drink some tea with roots and bitter herbs. We also have a cook. How do you know who is like good at this? Intrigue and eager reveler river. I'm fine with it being him. My personal physician and the camp cook. I don't think we need a stooge. When will Joseph find a bride? The bride is just not really top of his priority right now. We could choose an heir. Oh, no, it has to be... oh, I see. I thought I could just make anyone in my camp my heir. All right, we're feeling better. You got a bunch of siblings. We could marry one of his. Someone from here. Oh, he won't like it, though. My scheme to mug the wealthy citizen has progressed well, perhaps too well. There are many avenues I could develop it down, so I should choose, but further opportunities are unlikely to present themselves. We are at the maximum number of advantages. I guess let's just do it. Oh, I didn't get to see... it just automatically used them all. I wanted to see if it showed me anything different when I had 20 advantages. Thanks to the Count's utter inability to enforce order on his streets of his capital, the rogues of Warwickshire are able to shake down more than the collective citizenry of Lille for everything they've got. Not an honorable way to earn a living, perhaps, but profitable? Oh, extremely. The first lesson of any aspiring criminal learns is when to quit. With our coin made, it's high time we left before the Count gets wind and comes looking for us. Good robbery. Up to 300 bucks. Might I want to upgrade anything? Become more and more expensive. This will give us another men-at-arms regiment, which could be kind of nice, actually. As we steadily increase everything. Oh, we actually have room for another men-at-arms here as well. All right. We got some more crime to go for. We completed our scheme to prey on the citizenry. We've got a few upgrades coming in. There is a murder scheme. As this camp's boss, when two of my more notable followers wish to wed, it's my right to have the last word. They live within my protection, travel on my animals, and break my bread, after all. My second wants to marry this sea captain. I can forbid them. Yeah, man, why not? Count Herve, the Marshal of Duke Bourgeois, wants swords for hire. Make progress in the Night of the Swan. That doesn't sound like us. A passage of arms. Lose trait experience at Gallows Bait. Where are we in Gallows Bait? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, hold on. We're actually getting quests offered to us. So we are a rank 1 bandit. +1 marshal. We are also a rank 1 marauder. It's less glamorous to kidnap and murder outside of high society, but not necessarily less profitable. We haven't done any poaching. Because we don't hunt. We've done a little bit of thieving. And not a lot of trickery. I feel like bandit, thief, and marauder are kind of our main things. More crime, find a bride in crime. Nepo has a meaning other than nepotism. You're unaware. I mean, it might. There's so many words. This is kind of one of the reasons I like the word mini game that we play on break, because it teaches me a lot of new words sometimes. It's Twitch. Twitch is just being Twitch. It does that sometimes. To the sensible boss Joseph of the Rogues of Warwickshire, it would be an honor if you joined the side of my war. Duke Gosfrid of Nostria is in a war against the tyranny of Duke. Who are you at war with? Reynold of Rowan. Duke Gofrid of Nostria. The tyranny of Duke Gofrids. So this is like 1,200. These guys have 500 troops. They want to hire me. What's interesting about this is he is winning currently. But he's sieging his capital, but he's also getting his capital sieged, actually. We have 400 men-at-arms. Skirmishers and heavy cav. Oh, we counter skirmishers and heavy cav. You counter spearmen. You counter cav. You counter archers. I'm trying to think, like, what would be good to go with our longbowmen? Horses? What feels the most bandit-like? I also like the fact that, like, the longbowmen get huge bonuses from hills. So I could just go, like, pikemen. Or I could get light footmen, actually. Jungle, taiga, forest. That would counter heavy infantry, skirmishers, and heavy cavalry. That feels more bandit-like to me. Better decline, he will lose instant after his capital gets captured. Yeah. I mean, we could always take the job and then turn on him. I'm just kind of thinking if we get in here to Rowan with... How many troops do we have? 500 troops. Pikemen and bowmen. Versus this guy who's got light footmen, light horsemen, and pikemen. But not very much. I think there's better money we can make elsewhere. I'm curious about the Duke's offer and would be honored to stand alongside his bannerman. I actually declined this. However, a few gold coins is not enough to risk the lives of my brave followers. An official alliance. Force him to be my patron. Provisions. Or just don't join at all. I just don't want to join at all. Light horsemen would counter bowmen. Yeah, I feel like that might actually be the better idea for me. We're upgrading our tent right now. So we're going to get another men-at-arms regiment. So I'll probably do horses as my third. What counters longbows? Horses? Light horses. Arquebuses in the game, I still wonder because I can't find them. You have to research them in the culture. No, I don't think they are. I think you can get like a gun. But that sounds like a special event. There is not culture. What am I thinking of? Innovations. If there were, it would be here. There are bombards. So there are gunpowder weaponry. But I don't think you ever get to full-on arquebuses. Condotta Dairy kind of were early arquebussers. Yeah, we have advanced bow making, crossbowmen. Hoblars. No. Yeah, I don't think there are any arquebuses. Certainly never that I've seen. What counters light horses? Pikemen counters light horses, yeah. Pikes also counter heavy cav, correct. Bow counters cav, spears counters horses, horse counters infantry. It kind of depends, because it's like heavy cav counter spearmen, but skirmishers counter heavy cav. But also, like, you need to have, like, there's different, like, phases of combat, so you do typically want some mix. Improvised spycraft. The Count of Brabant wishes to be known he is inviting useful revelations from across the kingdom. This could get us a patron in Lotharingia. So in case things go bad over here in France, we have a place to run. I'm going to take this job. Head to Antwerpen. I want to make sure we have an out if we need it. Our road takes us through the treacherous part of Ghent. In scan of any dangers ahead, a rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? Or is it Beothric holding a plant? What? I wonder what this tastes like. Yeah, man, go nuts. Good news. You're really high. Perhaps we can't get into the court without raising a few eyebrows, but it seems like we hardly need to. The locals are abuzz with rumors of infidelity. No one too high, but an unexpected affair does add a little spice to the humdrum daily life of Antwerpen. Fortunately for us, with so many chins wagging, it should be fairly easy to work the servants and lesser courtiers for crumbs of gossip. Put my ear to the ground. Dude, I'm not even there yet, and I'm already gathering tidbits. There's blood on the streets of Liège, and though Prince Bishop Francon didn't draw a blade, it was his word that set it in motion. A local ordinance put in place on the exact specification of Prince Bishop has proved frighteningly unpopular. A humble bailiff attempted to enforce it, otherwise reasonably liked for a fair mind and a clear head. He was cut down not 2 days ago in a lamentable crime of passion. Fiery talk of accusations and blame abounding. Secrets should be easy to coax out of the locals. Oh, so this is kind of cool. We're actually like, we're on a tour through this guy's kingdom to get secrets. Another infidelity here. This one might be a little bit trickier, but... We also visited the Palace of Aachen. With our gathered rumors and hearsay being so sparse, there's comparatively little here for Giselbert's spy master to work with. Little, but not quite nothing. Such a bounty for a few whispers. Dude, he just paid us real well. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, my chief cook says as he waves an arm dismissively. There's plenty of farms around here, even if they're not great ones. It cannot be hard for us to pause briefly and stock up on some of the luxuries to make our food bearable. This feels like the ravings of a lunatic. I checked the stocks just this morning and we should be well supplied for months. Short thrift from the locals. Gain provisions. Dude, what are you even complaining about? We're literally fully stocked. Yeah, cool. I literally just went through his place, gathered a bunch of secrets, and then like showed up to be like, hey, Spy Master, here's what's going on in your kingdom. Sometimes harsh environments have me invigorating on the effects of my state of mind and vigor. I glance over at Wolfrin. She doesn't appear to be doing very well. No, she does not. She seems very ill. Nice. That's why we have a physician in the party. We're going to try to speak Dutch because we're lost and we somehow succeed. Don't ask me how. This is also reminding me though, like we're not like learning any languages or anything right now. And that feels like that could be like a valuable thing to do. Like, what about Count Rudolph? Can we learn his language? Seems difficult. What about our new man over here? What do you speak? Dutch. Can we get a languages map mode? My German. Rudolph, you're speaking High German. You know what? It's worth it to try. Why not? Go the English route, wallop things with your longbows. Even the English don't like the flavor. Some areas in the Netherlands speak Frisian, which is somewhat similar to Old English. Could definitely get pretty confusing. All right, we better do some crime, dudes. We haven't done some crime in a while. Crime pays. This is marauding crime as well. High stakes bartering, digging for dirt. Go on a little adventure. That's what we are after all. We're adventurers. I don't need it to be slow. Get Hamlin delivered to Death's Embrace so I can stop thinking about him. Are we clear? There's a lot left unsaid. Why does he want this man dead? What's binding his hands from the common methods? But none of that's my business. All right, well, he wants me to do this as a rush job. So what do we say? The sooner we're done, the sooner we're back on the road. Couple infiltrators. Good footpad. I'm going to need a solid assassin here. Probably Marcus the Devil. And I want to make sure it stays secret. Woof. 50% chance, 75% secrecy. That'll get bumped up a little bit. We're going to scheme it to death. English, we don't even have the words for bon appetit. Literally French for have a good meal, yeah. Our roaring campfire is completed. Which I think means, yeah, we get another men-at-arms here. So these guys are good against heavy infantry, and heavy infantry are the counter to spearmen. So why don't we get spearmen then? Because they're the counter to bows. And then it looks like we have everything fixed. According to this, I can never be destroyed. Giselbert and Rudolph. As we pass through the barony of Ooh, a jubilant local approaches her entourage, stretching ear from ear. A good chance to practice my high German. I am feeling rather feisty today. This is another Ashkenazi. This is a genius Ashkenazi. Catholicism is evil, zealous, bound by faith. Oh my god. Am I gonna have a wife who hates me, but she's a genius? It's perfect. I don't think I need to convert, but I would like to romance her. Oh, let's keep trying to learn this language first, though. We have like a pretty decent chance at it. Then we can romance our wife. I think you find it pronounced bone apple teeth, actually. I do believe that is correct. Ugh, my head, moans Gedala as he rides alongside me. He simply slumps down across his horse, whimpering and clutching at his temples. Someone had a good night last night. He gets hung over for 3 months, basically no matter what I do here. We'll slow it down for him. He's our doctor. Why not? 49%. Yeah, we'll go with the full thing here. Marcus and Gedala are feuding over their differences. Do I want to switch to scheming? Search for secrets. Murder. This does seem like it would probably be good for us. Oh, no, we should wait. We should take that romance scheme upgrade. That's the right decision there. Got Twitch mostly as Anglais only? Yes. Unless you stumble over a national restaurant, the French do not have a monopoly on that one. But to be fair, French do know how to enjoy food. The key to French is just, it's butter. They just put a lot of butter in everything. I like French food, but it's very buttery. Such to describe what's so appealingly intimate about the low buzz of a camp settling in for the evening. Maybe it's the accusations of cheating and threats of murder that arise from gambling, the smell of the campfire starting to be lit, or the rhythmic metallic thunking of nails being hammered into soft terrain. All this forms a quiet, comforting blanket of familiarity. This is my domain. These are my people. A small kingdom, but one where I know every sight, sound, and soul. Eat with the camp for 10 years. Leader doesn't have to break bread with her men, but it helps. Take my seat in the fire. Commanding position begets a commanding posture. Or nightly drills for +3 martial. How is the camp feeling about me right now? Pretty good, except for my wife. I got 6 diplomacy. I got 20 martial right now. I'm going to take my customary seat at the fire. Teach people what's up. And then we are about to hit 20 here. So, no time like the presence. So seize the moment is just regular. Exude with confidence gives you an extra 5%, 10%. And then cover any angle gives you 20%. 69% success chance. Hamlin is dead. A thorn in my side no longer, thank God. Macus executed the plan perfectly. In the dead of night, he snuck through a gap in the roaming patrols, let himself into the chamber with a stolen key, and brought Hamlin's wretched existence to a wet, gurgling end. It's so cool that we get to play like the other side of the story here. You know? It's not us being killed. It's us sneaking in and killing other people. Someone slipped up. Are you serious? We had 75% secrecy. You have gained the trait Murderer. You also gained stress. Oh, you only gained 40 stress because you're callous. Listen, you know, sometimes you gotta do some crime. Your receipts count, I say, dropping the damp bag on Harlan's floor. The sodden fabric tips sideways, exposing a lank tuft of his hair. You took bring me his head rather too literally, he grunts. Must have been hell to make off with it all. Still, job well done. Your pay is with the servant outside. I dip my head respectfully and depart. Excellent. I have to upgrade the pavilion again if I want the 4th slot in the camp. Oh, I didn't notice that. Cool. There's internal upgrade slots as well. Traveling musicians, master bard officer. I can take this because of Gedya. Wandering poets, also Gedya. Capering fools. Libations for the lost. Local hangers on. Grand aspirations, nightly debates, or juicy rumors. Intrigue +4. Criminal contract rewards 50%. Okay, we gotta save up for that for sure. Light cavalry captains, camel run, elephant reserve, archer captains. That would obviously be useful. There's the master. This is where you get things like the Master of Spoils. Entice local mercenaries. Martial study. The stick game. Scheme secrecy 20%. And what do we have here? Chief Forager. Murder schemes begin with a free poisoner agent slot. Mobile brewers, adept curers, roving bakers, skilled cooks. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to get knowledgeable herbalists. We're going to get juicy rumors. And we're going to get probably the stick game. Let's start with juicy rumors, though, because that's the one that pays us the best. Count Rudolph's got a job here for us. I wouldn't mind doing this just because we like Count Rudolph. He just needs us to discover some secrets. Money's money. Do you know why the French invented escargot? They hate fast food. Yeah, guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, the wife doesn't like me because she's a zealot. That's fine. We're gonna seduce her. Being good Catholic somehow key to successful kingdom. Just be a good parent and ruler. Oh yeah. I've done that. I've done that play before. If you just take the good Catholic traits and you just be a good dad, you almost always will become the Holy Roman Emperor before the time you're dead. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, somehow you will become like the most powerful person in the world. Count Rudolph's suspicion lie upon his guest Antoine. I find myself taking a stroll through the halls of a church. He is deep in counsel with himself. I chance some more steps closer, hiding behind a wall. I can hear his whispered words. They're making a confession to God or wild muttering. I can't quite make it out. Oh, we could just threaten him. 90% chance your threats work. Excellent, the Count booms as I bring him the news. I had my suspicions, but I have them confirmed. Your reward. 31 bucks. Oh, it's easy money. Good work. Yeah, I don't want to do this hired muscle. Knights of the Swan. Where's our other guy over here? Count Giselbert? We're going to move into his camp. Pack it up, lads. We're moving. Making our way into Germany. Not uncommon to hear rumors swirling around this or any camp. Salacious notions and whispers of scandals. Sometimes even true. This week suggests that two people amongst our throng are waging a private war against one another, but both keep it a secret. Not a kind thing for people to spout purely for entertainment, but then scuttlebutt rarely is. Just agree to the source of truth. Lose stress. Yeah, why not? The belief is that a bunch of people are like causing trouble in my camp and that we're a group of bandits. Of course they are. Look at all this crime. Flog talismans, rustle animals, and mug wealthy citizens. Okay, a learning scheme as a contract is very fun. Let's rustle some animals, though. The Prince Bishop reminds you once more that the theft of livestock will be punished harshly. You have been warned. You gain a bunch of money. You gain a bunch of provisions. We'll take a small group with us. You should pay out decently. Lockwagon and Juicy Rumors to give 100% reward. Is Lockwagon also a bonus to reward? Reunited Iberia without making Muslims mad. Somehow they were willing to convert because you were a good Catholic. Yeah, that's one of the like really cool ways to do the fate of Iberia is to actually just like fix the schism by making friends with everybody. And the immortal trait is also available now. Yes, it costs like 10,000 points though, so you can't do it on an Iron Man run. I don't know if you can actually get it with an event, but maybe with like one of the Explorer ones. Our nightly raid carries us deep into the plains of Namur, seeking valuable, vulnerable herds of sheep to drive back to our roving camp. Likely candidates have caught my eye during our recent foray, but up until now we've been doing light reconnaissance. Now comes the time for violence. 1 successful wrestling. We're focused on the beasts. Stick together. Focus on the beasts. Discipline holds true. Now cut down any fools who oppose us. A successful wrestling. Despite the best attempts at the prince's many lackeys, the rogues of Warwickshire have reclaimed a veritable horde of beasts. Perhaps they're not naturally ours, but what does it matter to us? With the sword and axe, we've taken what we will. We eat like kings. We're also now pretty rich. So juicy rumors. We'll pick up there. What was the other one you were talking about? The lock wagon. No, that's for mercenary contracts, so that's different. Domicile income. Oh, for administrative and adventurers. All right, we might as well just like go mug some people while we're here. It's good money in mugging. I really hope my wife has that baby soon. You notice that Count Rainier had hold truer than expected. Bouillon seems to be experiencing a barrage of petty crime. I'm confused, like, why is this guy the guy hiring me? Or is he? I'm okay if we're slow here. Let's just take we're here to earn. We got lots of good options. Oh, my wife makes a good lookout. You're gonna thug it up. You're gonna thug it up. That puts us at 87. I'm gonna put Marcus on footpad so we can get through it fast. Yeah, that puts us at 99. No problem. And this is like robbing nobles as well. We could be feisty here. Engage this character in a amicable debate. I'm very confused why we seem to only be running into Ashkenazi characters. But I'm fine with that. In the course of helping me administer my camps at night, my right-hand man, Macus, and I discovered we have a lot in common. We built up a strong rapport during our time working together. Yeah, man, I'll be friends with you. I like that we're friends with all of our officers. A back alley robbery. Looks to be Francois, a courtier of Count Rainier. Shadow him and cut his purse. We stroll through the markets of the strange land. Vendors beckon in an alien tongue, and I am lost to a sea of foreign scents, but it feels strangely like home. Where else could I have the pleasures of smelling fresh lavender, or watching the sun set over the remains of old Rome, or listen to the jubilant chorus of church choir? Nowhere but Europe. A man walks through Hainault, but is he still Joseph? Can I not be both English and French? I could become French. Perhaps all English could find a home here. No, that's fine. We don't need to do anything there. A new heir and dastardly. I believe she had to be called Murdar Dastardly. Yeah. Our scheme was exposed. So we have one breach. Success chance is reduced. The penalty success chance increases for each cumulative breach. Once a scheme reaches 5, it will automatically fail. We do officially have a player heir now as well. Nice! And we learned High German. I'm not going to send him a letter because it doesn't seem like it's going to work very well. But I am going to start seducing my wife. Actually, I'm going to start swaying my wife. And we're going to wait until we get that extra chivalry lifestyle point. For a little more success there. Bought. Who is this guy? Look on him. Look on him. Rent a night. Interesting. The further away you move, you can't go very far if you want to keep harassing people. Bringing in your hooks. Always muddying the mugging stand. Scouting out ahead of the camp, I come across a ramshackle collection of traders gathered around some large but old ruined buildings. The remaining ones in good condition, occupied by a merchant. Their wares fairly standard. Food, mostly of well-traveled road that would no doubt attract many purchasers. Yet my eye is drawn inexorably towards a gray, pock-marked walls of the ruin. So magnificent they are. The merchants occupy merely the outskirts, but its dilapidated heart remains untouched. I best try my luck in those ruins. I might discover a dusty weapon, a trinket, or nothing. We got a trinket. A sponge on a stick. A tiny health penalty. We found a local magnet. Rob blind. Let's just wait for one more scheme here. Execute with confidence. Pick up another 130 bucks. Good handful of provisions. So we have the herbalists for 240 and free murder. Or we have the stick game, which gives us scheme secrecy. You know what? I think I can actually afford both of these. Oh, we got more cow rustling. The door to my tent opens and Beothric stands right in front of me with a subtle bow. I apologize for interrupting. I bring news that might be of interest. I was resting at the Golden Horse, drinking with a group that revealed themselves as servants of Count Giselbert. They had no qualms about talking about their liege. What of him? I asked, and managed to learn of his secret. You gain stress because you're callous. I gain stress because I'm rakish. What were you doing in the tavern? You get a strong hook on him. I don't understand why being callous is bad here. But I've learned of your secrets now. And I would like to blackmail you then. Would I? I'm not really going to get anything from blackmailing. I'm stressed out, so let's go to the brothel. Come out here, girls. And then let's go rustle up some animals. I think we're going to have to leave Germany pretty soon. It's a lot of crime we're doing over here right now. No! Well, I guess I deserve that going to the brothel. We now have lover's pox. And a successful wrestling. My wife is once again absent from her tent as the night falls. She's been distant lately, lost in thought. Am I not to her satisfaction, or could she be warming someone else's bed? I will investigate this myself. She's innocent! But she's probably angry at me because I have lover's pox. She totally is. I'm sure my wife will love my lover's pox. All going according to plan. So this guy wants me to rob some Catholic rarities. I don't know if I'm going to be any good at this. But let's give it a shot. Crime is crime after all. And this one here is this Count Giselbert examining a small carved stone of blue-green hue. Good for gout. Quite the range you have here, Joseph. If my lord would like, I can have some more exotic items fetched from the baggage. The words roll smoothly and confidently off my tongue. As you can see, we have many assets to offer yourself in your court. Oh, I love it. I've basically robbed this guy's entire territory, and now I'm trying to sell him a bunch of fake artifacts before grabbing my camp and getting the hell out of town. Hawk baubles. Chills thieves. My wife, the cleric. Marcus, a thief. Gedja and Beothric on shilling. Idrid on thieving. That's 100%. And we're also trying to sway the mistress at the same time. Unable to sleep, a nighttime stroll in my plains sees my mind wandering aimlessly when I hear chanting. Following the sound to its source, I found a ring of torches illuminating a curious, unsettling scene. A robed man, eyes affixed to a grimoire, invokes the names of demons he seeks to bind to his will. Before him is a ritual circle drawn in chalk, complicated and elegant and utterly mad. This man is clearly a necromancer. Shocked, I stumble and trip, loudly announcing my presence. Learned in demonology? Can you instruct my daughter in the dark arts? I am but 26. I would like to learn about demonology. That sounds good to me. Oh, I like it. I just noticed you can see like a little progress bar around the camp here for the buildings. We haven't visited a castle holding. We haven't visited any holdings yet. Which is something we might want to do. Stealing relics, a rather storied and classic profession. Feels like a good thing. Wolfrin the Honest. Don't you make an honest man out of my honest knight. That's really funny. My second in command is known as the Honest. Kind of like, I don't quite know how that happened, but... Hand-picked faithful men-at-arms. Scheme discovery chance. Plus 15. No, I want scheme secrecy. First to grab it without snapping the pot. Flesh wounds only. Knives blunt. And if you're spotted, you're out. Stick game. And then next up's the upgrade to the pavilion, I think. Now that we speak France, I feel now that we speak French, I feel like going into France might also be a good idea. Nice. And my wife is pregs. Once you have that knowledge, it should be possible to make new camp things. Wouldn't that rule? All right. I'm going to let this one sway pass because it's like halfway through. And then we're going to start romancing her. My hook on Count Rudolph is about to expire. I could ask him to hold a grand tournament. And then we can go to that grand tournament. And I don't know what. Commit in some games. As I slid between the sheets to join Shaolin, I was horrified to find oozing blisters on her most private parts. Did I do this? Did I do that? I mean, listen, we're a brigand. I feel like having chlamydia just sounds about right. Oh, you're already doing this. Can I not visit your grand tournament? D-scheme. Romance scheme. The odds are good. I'm gonna go with my gut in the moment. My declaration of love is for her eyes only. No one else matters. I pour my heart out page after page. My feelings grow as I finally put them into words. The ink is barely dried as I set out for her chambers. I place the scroll on her bolster. Will she lay here tonight dreaming of me? The waiting is unbearable. The thought of rejection makes me sick to my stomach. When her reply arrives, I tear the seal with shaking hands. While I cannot encourage you, I am most grateful for your kind words. Oh, Woolbang. 5%. Oh, she really hates me. Well, we'll give it a try. Godfried Dastardly. Son of Joe. He was burned in Lotharingia here. He could be Hans Dastardly. You know what? I think that's the right choice. Yeah, see, I don't even think I can go to this this grand tournament. It's truly fortunate I'm afforded a chance to plan this contract with my friend Gedaliah by my side. A better, more observant aide no man could ask for. Recently, his work has resulted in a shortcut that could save us a bunch of time. 2 advantages. I'm gonna let this keep scheming. Yeah, I missed the whole thing. You can now choose a favorite child. This means they will have a higher opinion of you when you die. You can choose to continue your legacy as them instead of your heir. In the character view, find the child you want to designate as your favorite. Right-click the child, choose favorite child. It'll be an icon or a portrait. I love that you can pick your favorite child. It's a blessing to have Mr. Shaolin involved in our contract, being able to advance our goals in any number of ways. Oh, you're ill. Agents of the Heart, scheme growth +1. Agents of the Mind, base success chance +10. Or +2 advantages. That just looked like it gave us +10, so I'll take it. Parents were not supposed to play favorites. Yeah, clearly not the case anymore, right? The Wild Hunt. When Mistress Shaolin... I keep calling her Mistress Shaolin. Shoinlin? When Mistress Shoinlin suggested a hunt, I did not hesitate to organize one. I would do anything for a glimpse of my dearest. Gee whiz. Yeah, I know. I'm coming for you. Shoinlin, I'm coming. I burst through the foliage of my clearing, my heart beating wildly. The scene before me is not what I expected. There's a stag, yes, but it's on the ground, an arrow between its eyes. She lowers her bow and turns to face me. What do you think this is about, boss? Did you think me incapable of defending myself? Ay, ay, ay. I married a badass. What madness possessed me to bring my wife into this contract? The foolish oaf has been nothing but trouble. Wow. It really turned around on her, didn't we? All right, we'll have to kill her. Shilon? I think it's Shoinlin. I could be wrong. Shalon? I don't know. Shoinlin sounds more correct for an Ashkenazi name. Early evening is a time of intense activity at the camp. People and supplies tossed this way as our portable home is set down once more. Eventually, it's also when I take a walk to clear my head and escape the noise. As I crest the small hill, I see the last pinkish rays of the dying sun bath the plains below, carving out shimmering pockets of light where they hit pools and streams and bathing the rest in a soft glow. You gain the little things. Idrid the Honest could become my friend. All business. Yeah, I'll lose some stress. Why not? 2 of my agents seem to have found common cause in our plan beyond the basic goal. Impressed by our companion's compatriot's skill with the wisdom, reading, and general knowledge required to flog talismans, Beothric has taken to studying what Gedaliah does differently to himself and to prove his own skills. Learning by 4. Or I could get a lifelong lifestyle learning perk. Well, I'd rather that for myself. Are you kidding me? Why not? Personal physician treatments, better outcome. Wards can get additional skills. Steadfast camp temperament also grants a scaling faith hostility advantage. Might as well teach your children some things. All right, we're almost done robbing this guy. My caravan leader is sincerely putting his all into the flog talisman contract. Perhaps it's cruel of me to use one who is so dear to me, but he is effective and for a good cause. Flog Talisman gets excellent leveraging. That puts us to 93. That puts us to 100. Oh, my hook expired. I was going to do this and then do that hook. Our time in the barony is immensely profitable. Trading with the Count's tactic seal of approval lends legitimacy to our stock that all the fast talking in the world couldn't achieve. Talisman, medicines, baubles, and gewgaws. Courtiers and guests buy them all, no questions asked. We'll be long gone before their concerns start setting in. Counterfeit divinity for 10 years. And I'm all out of hooks. Count Chiselberts. Oh, I could blackmail this guy. I could blackmail you, actually. The secret of your child. You're way more valuable. And then I'm going to demand... a marriage? Oh, this costs prestige. I didn't realize that. I don't want to do that then. Let's get out of here. Where should we go? Up to visit some Vikings? We just learned French, didn't we? No, actually, we learned High German. That guy doesn't like me. I dare say not a lot of people like me right now, actually. You're in prison. Let's head to Luxembourg. The game said travel to duchies. Was what it recommended. So why don't maybe we head to Swabia? We could stop into Luxembourg. That doesn't seem to get us much. Are you the right guy for my caravan master? You're average. Wolfrin is actually good. Significantly better in every single way. Yeah, you're gonna... Sorry, Mechas. I'm gonna hire your wife instead. Sorry, Mechas. That doesn't seem to be doing much for us. Dang. All right, there we go. If we hire mercenaries and Pathfinder's gear, we can get through pretty much without trouble. Captain Lambert will be recruited to the travel entourage of the Flemish band. All right. Definitely have favorites. My son is the second favorite child. It's not even close between him and the dog. Scheming successfully, anyone but the wife, right? Seems about right. Impossible to get anything past the wife. As we continue through Weisenberg, my eye catches an elaborately decorated tomb amidst a network of common graves. It appears to be cracked open, and within its mouth I see a glimmer of unknown treasure. None of my party appears to be around, and surely whoever once owned the contents of the tomb would not cast judgment on me taking it. Oh, I'll desecrate the dead. No problem. Let's do some grave robbing. Shoinlin has been known as Shoinlin the Lewd. It's a good name for my wife. Ambush travelers. Heist a treasury. Heist a treasury. Yes. Let's start by ambushing some travelers because we haven't done that before. Potential gold earned depends entirely on which travelers you meet and mug on the road. Cool. Adelhard must be a truly careless count. I love it. I love that Adelhard is a named character here. Imagine putting out a notice begging for help like that and not expecting to attract more trouble. His loss, our gain. My band and I have begun scouting out the busiest buck roads to begin laying ambushes. It seems that the most natural route is to harass the Saarbrücken Bar Road, rob the merchants and travelers blind, and flee into the night as quickly as we came. We got a ton of money, honeys, so let's upgrade the pavilion. I want to upgrade our men-at-arms as well, but we're not like using them for anything yet. Grandmother is from Saarbrücken. Please don't rob her. No promises. Several hours before sunset, we happen upon a gang of travelers. At their front is Saris, at least according to my scouts. From the look of them, they're nothing more than itinerant wanderers. The only wealth they have is what they can carry, and their only good name might be able to secure in gifts. Attack after nightfall. Charge him. We'll attack after nightfall. They don't have a lot of money. I'm not worried about getting a slightly less cut. Small travelers, Mayor Ebon. The group obviously has some wealth, but they're not overflowing with coin. Worthwhile quarry, should we be inclined? Also not really worth a lot of cash. I'm more concerned about the Gallows Bane experience. Seemed a rather easy, fairly profitable endeavor. With our saddlebags weighed down by coin, we gladly, if suspiciously, arrive in Bar. Roads truly are the wellspring of all wealth. We got level 2 bandit. Somehow I've gotten level 2 poacher. Oh, because we did all that cattle rustling. Oh, that's nice. The road ahead is dangerous, and for safety we have to settle for the night while the others set up camp. I catch Beothric picking an unknown fruit. I can't help myself. Yeah, man, go nuts. I love it. He just keeps eating random fruit and getting like super high off of it everywhere he goes. He's a brave man. Oh, you know what? Before we take a contract... Oh, I was going to visit the castle, but it's occupied. Well... This guy already hates us. Let's go rob him. Grab a wilderness kit. Oh, I think there might be some other stuff we can actually take because of our camp upgrades now, too. No, maybe not, but we do have more positions. Preliminary scouting around Koblenz suggests we might be able to get away with it. It's not the only place the Prince Bishop keeps his coin, but the holdings here are definitely plenty and the guards don't expect hostilities. We'll take a balanced approach. Very quickly before we go in here. Yeah, Chief Forager. My wife would make a good Chief Forager. We still don't have a Master at Arms. We're going to have to like look for some more people. This guy does make an okay stooge. He's not going to be stoked about it, but he is club-footed. Regular duties, control plagues, advanced research, divine charity. Oh, but it costs per month. Interesting. We fired Bacchus from the caravan, so why don't we just make him a bodyguard? We have 2 thieves, a scout, an infiltrator, and a footpad. You're obviously the infiltrator. Bacchus, I'm going to have to make you the footpad. A mess, a mess, a mess. You have a 17 to that. Of the wife scout, Edred will thief. Sailwold will thief. 83% chance, that's pretty good. Quick phases as well, so we might be able to actually get this build up a little bit. As we trudge down the road, a building hogs into view. We get some trade experience in Bandit. We threaten an innkeep. Get away from that loud siege. Zoom into the calming mooing of cows. I am a little curious if there's any more scheming we can do to our wife. No, we can keep trying to sway her. Loyalty and respect would get us 50 spouse opinion, but I don't really know that we even need that anymore. Do I want gallant? I mean, I kind of want it just because it's like a capstone. The monthly prestige would be nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, though. And we get a bonus of 30% experience. Honestly, we're better at intrigue right now. $15 days past her per scheme phase. Let's swap it. This is also going to make phases so fast. Okay. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild how much of a difference that makes. Mm, 10 will give us +5, so that'll give us an 87% chance of success. I'm fine with that. 88. I do wish you could see more contracts on the map. Doesn't matter what region you're in. It depends on your camp. So your camp can basically see, I think, 2 duchies away from where you were. So as you move around, you discover more. A spot of larceny. Like imps tweaking the nose of St. Matthew, we sneak into the treasury. Our sacks are filled as quickly as can be, and we're gone. But there's plenty more back there. Stay low, knives out. Patrols coming, get them from both sides. The hapless guards are cut down swift and silently with a minimum of phlegmy death rattles. A convenient alcove becomes a way stop before their upcoming burial, and we're free and clear to keep robbing the place bind. Storing the bodies means we're forced to relieve some of the recesses of its decorations and lush furnishings, but that's only polite. Macus, what have you found for me? He found plenty, as it transpires, gleefully whispering a short inventory of the items he's hurriedly stolen. A good tally, plenty for the haul, and the adrenaline of the theft ought to help carry through the evening. I calmly lift an expensive-looking wall hanging. Wouldn't do to let my followers outperform me too much. And then this door looks important. Smash it. Despite our best attempts to bash through what looks like it might be a storeroom of some kind, the damnable door will not give. Whatever is in there wasn't worth the risk. I'm good. We got enough then. Like shadows in the night, we're away. Let's sell all this loot. Big money. Big money. 500 bucks. We're dreaming large right now. Can we go hunting? Doesn't really seem like we can. Study the art of scheming. Oh, wow. Okay. So to become the bandit's benefactor, I need to somehow get 2,000 prestige. How do we go about getting more prestige? Probably from winning battles. We could join this guy's war. He's 1,000 versus 500 troops. A liberty war? The count is fed up with Duke Hans of Swabia's rule. Dude, let's take this contract. Greetings, boss. It says you're curious of our cause, and so we come to speak of our foe, the aberrant Duke. It's intolerable, and he is tedious. Ah, yeah, I don't want any of his land. Size 1 of 0. How did I get a size 1 of 0 here, I wonder? Oh, hilarious. I can't raise because this capital is under siege. We're gonna have to move the camp first. Oh, okay. Well, he canceled the job for some reason. I guess because I tried to move. Provision's a problem with all these mercs? It's only when you move that the provisions cost more money. We've got our extra tent here as well. Camp hygiene, ditch digging, palisades, extra watches. Archer damage plus 10%. Fixed layout. Good sitting. What does the baggage train give us? Intrigue scheme phase length. Private tents, 10-day faster per scheme phase. Monthly intrigue lifestyle experience, 25%. Allows you to occasionally recruit interesting characters. Ransom cages. The Manhaggler. Proof of claims. Bartering grounds. Scribes. A shrine. Siege engineers. Kennels. Trackers. Huntsmen. Porters. Ample steeds. Gain gold from battle victories in any battle that ends in the country of your camp. Mortician's tools. Oh, God. Torturer's tools, dentist's tools, surgeon's tools. Scheme secrecy. Gallowbane trait experience and master thief officer. Okay, this is obviously what we need. Steel artifact interaction. Yeah, we're going to build that for sure. And then I guess we're just going to go rob this treasury because, frankly, why not? Apparently seems like there's no reason not to. I think we'll go balanced again. As long as we have these guys set up typically. Generally pretty good. 83 in really quick days. As we just rob our way around. I like that we're just absolutely robbing our way across the German countryside. Part of me feels like we should return to England. Okay, so sometimes you can take jobs that are like really far away. Each night the fire becomes the hub. Tonight is no exception. Catalea giggles saying, look, all I'm saying is that poor Wolfrin might be a little too willing to let bygones be bygones. But what's a little dog murder between friends, right? Happens to the best of us. And also her. Ribbon Wolfrin. We don't need to be. It's not a sign of a good leader to just be needlessly picking on people in your camp. If we don't need to. We are going to pick up this Master Thief, though, and I'm very excited about it. Sweet smiles and little lies. My son and heir Hans sometimes lies and tests boundaries, but avoids suspicion with his sweet demeanor. He's become charming, just like his daddy. Let's make sure that we are educating this child myself. I should also probably be educating my daughter. And another child, Joan Dastardly. That's a fine name. Who do I want to raise you? My second? Or my wife? I feel like my wife could probably raise somebody. That seems reasonable. All right, we got another 10 of these. A failure! Wow. The Ubert's treasury had more guards than we thought on different patrols than we expected. Even the moon itself betrayed us with a brightly lit night. Our infiltration deteriorated into bloody shambles not long before we climbed the outer wall. Well, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess. You guys speak High Germanic. Is there an opinions mode, I wonder? Oh, cool. You can see all the other landless rulers on the map. There's a 4-year-old Italian ruler down here. That's a vibe for sure. All right, we got to move. We're in Swabia. So we head to Switzerland? Who's got money? I think that's the real question. Looks like there's a lot of money down in Italy. Also over in Salzburg. I don't have the provisions for that. All right, we do have a chief forager. My wife failed. So maybe we can just go down to like Burgundy. No, that's way too far. Zurich? Across a handful of mountains. I'm going to scout for talents. High chance of danger. We'd get rid of that with mercenary guards. It'll also get us there faster. All right, we'll take that. Cat my van. Swiss was a very poor country. Well, they're going to be a lot poorer after we move through it. I tell you that much. The Law of Furstenberg. The ambush strikes as soon as you have cause to enter the wilderness. Swarms of Swabian fighters boil out of prepared hiding spots and beeline straight for me and my group of retainers. They're well armed and armored, too much so for an opportunistic attack. A militia or perhaps household troop come to cut me down for my crimes. A giant of a man leads the charge, bellowing his challenge to the top of his mighty lungs. Death or glory. This guy's not bad. Spring my ambush or easily counterattack. Spring my ambush. Because I'm so good and I'm so deceitful, I was just like, yeah, get out of here. Oh my god, there's literally no jobs. Can we visit a castle? Yes. Listen to exotic stories or recruit followers. Trade with the elite guard or warlike followers. Buy provisions, sell artifacts, and peruse contracts. Few places are as majestic as a castle, and Zurich is no exception. Swabian troops and banners are visible everywhere in the city. As we pass through the main gates, I spot a handful of guards peeking out from the embrasures. My friend Gedaliah looks around with a content face, seemingly enjoying the change in scenery. Let's mingle with the locals. The tavern, gathering travelers and Swabians alike, is brimming with activity. I feel like we should do this every time we go to a new location. A storyteller is seated by the fire a bit further up, and in front, gathering shabby chums are pestering the server for more wine. Visit a local storyteller or recruit local talent. What kind of stories? In spite of Kang's warnings, the humans made a fire in the growing darkness and the animals fled to the hills. But that story is for another time. Oh, cool. I guess if you want to do less crime and more like diplomacy and meeting people. Experience in wit. Lose stress. Chance of gaining exotic diplomacy for 3 months. Sure, why not? What a nice story. See who's up for recruitment? Looking for skilled, reliable people to join my camp. Who among you are up for that task? Augustin the Candid, Ulrich the Philanthropic, and Engelhard the Principal. You're a wise man. $60, $25, $27. Well, this guy's gonna die, probably. Oh, they also all cost a fortune. This guy's young and he's got 25 stewardship. Now, the thing is, I don't know that I need stewardship for any of my jobs, so... Let's head to the castle. The training ground just outside the gates. A handful of garrison guards are dawdling around the entrance, half asleep or polishing their weapons. Gedaliah looks around contemplatively, then ponders the robust banner depicting the Hufenreiting coat of arms. Visiting the training grounds? I tell ya, things have been going south here for ages, says the local master of arms, the incessant looking over my shoulder, questioning my... Instinctively, I check out the plethora of equipment and training obstacles, doing my best to ignore his defiant look. You should join our camp. Plenty of freedom. He could become a master of arms, but he's really bad at it. You can just pay money and increase your prowess. Oh, that's handy. Inside the stuffy garrison, the guards have arranged a fighting ring to hone their skills. 2 of them are using it, jabbing at each other. You observe the training for a bit, and it's clear that the Berthold, the first guard, is significantly more experienced than Anselm, the second guard. I gingerly approach the ring, and they shift their focus to me. Fancy a round of dice. Chance to pay some money. Lose some stress. This guy is a hunchback, rough terrain, skilled tactician, sadistic, stubborn, and cynical. He's got good martial. He could be a good thug. I also actually kind of love the fact that he's hunchbacked. This is so weird. I would never normally go for such characters, but I feel like the fact that we're a group of brigands, I'm more attracted to them. Come join my camp. Supplies, artifacts. Look for a contract. That's what I want. Stewardship contracts, hireling contracts, intrigue contracts. We'll take those. Oh, they cost prestige. Isn't that the king over there? You successfully steal a ton of supplies. That's the bandit's way right there. All right, let's get out of here. I don't really need to stick around if this is the case. Quartermaster and a master at arms. Berthold actually makes a very good master of arms. Quartermaster. I guess my wife. She's also the chief forager. What about Milano? We could go visit the King of Italy. Gee whiz, this is dangerous. All right, Pathfinder gear is going to help us get over that mountain. We're going to need the mercenary guards just to get through the absolutely war-torn barony here. And we're on the road again. Dude, I love playing as an adventurer. This rules. This is such an interesting way to play the game. As we check through Bellazona, our caravan has stopped. Clearing bordered by sparse pines. I proceed towards the commotion to find Berthold and Seywald having an air-raid row. No more of your idiocy, you worthless cur. You're the one who has whined this entire journey. Are we there yet? There's only one way to solve this. A duel? Yes. I could mediate it, but I'd rather solve it the old-fashioned way. Because we're bandits. Adalberto is lost deep in thought when our entourage enters the quarries of Cuomo. He has leaned over a large, roughly cut wooden table, assorted in drawing something on a scroll. Hey, nice. Our physician also leveled up. I inquire about what he's up to, and Adalberto replies, I'm drawing up my thoughts on construction and the building of foundations. I'm quite the architect, you see. Architectural drawings. Yeah, I don't need that. That sounds nice. I would have liked to rob him. Wolfrin is in charge of food supplies and has sheepishly revealed all of our provisions are now but useless, having been improperly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and produce, and we have quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. Nature will provide for us. %92 chance of success, 3% chance of death. Okay, we got ill. I still managed to strike a 3%, but it wasn't the 3% death. It's been snowing for days. The road ahead appears completely impassable. As I look ahead, I see a small group of people approaching us fast across the snowdrifts. A man stands before me and speaks with a wide grin. You seem to be in a predicament, but fear not, for a fair price will help you return to your travels. My entourage swiftly starts moving again, starts slowly moving again, or is stuck in the snow for 14 days. We'll manage. Gedaliah got me to eat a cat. And it made me feel a lot better. I have some concerns about that. But we'll let it go for now. Let's burn some properties down and do some crime. Job's a job. Close to nightfall, a small band of our followers and I await in the shadows not far from our target. The prince didn't seem fit to explain whether his victim owned the place or if he had some affection for it. Preserve your anonymity, reducing gallows bait. You gain 3 experience in bandit. Or reveal my identity and gain 15 experience in bandit. It is like guaranteed to succeed. And I lose stress. Seems like a win-win, honestly. Hide away, Mona. Anytime I'm sick, I'm coming straight for her. A gut plan begets swift victory, and the burning husks of the workshop stands a crumbling testament to that. It takes a strong stomach to butcher in cold blood, but the promise of silver makes many things tolerable. After we've cleaned out the inside, we heap the bodies, lay a fire, and flee into the night. Making a little bit of paper for us here. I feel like some upgrades would be good here. There's a lot less crime than I thought there would be in Italy. We're gonna have to pop into town. Everybody is so expensive. This is a good place to find people to marry, though. Lose some money gambling with the guards. I just rob supplies everywhere I go. This is great. We don't need anything. Should we go to Rome? Should we go visit the Pope? That seems maybe like a risky decision. Dude, Italy is kind of like in shambles right now. There's lots of good capitals up there to visit. When visiting the great city of Rome, will trigger a sightseeing event. Oh, the Vatican is also its own country now. All right, then screw it. Let's go. What are we doing if not going on an adventure? Ostia. No, I wanted to go to Roma. Up by Ravina en route. We're going to need mercenaries. We're probably going to need Pathfinder gear. I don't love this, but there's no work for us up here right now, so... The Vatican always its own country? I don't believe in Crusader Kings it was. Bandits on the bridge! Soft rumor of a river we've been following becomes stronger now. Some members of the entourage talk about making a short stop to get some fresh water and rest their feet. There's a stone bridge when the path turns, and a couple of men rest with their backs against the parapet. One man hits the other on the side and points up. You know, this is actually a toll bridge. Brave of you to suggest that. 99% chance he beats the bandits. 50% chance he gains aggressive attacker. Who do you think you're talking to? I am the boss. You intimidate the bandits. 100% chance. Dude, I'm on my bodyguard. I don't need to deal with a bunch of bandits. That's what my bodyguards are for. Rounding a little cluster of tents, I leave the remains of the stick game. I come across a gaggle of followers having dinner around a small hearth. This is cool. So the stick game is like giving me a unique thing here. Both Berthold and Beothric are among them, neither of whom enjoy each other's company. My Master of Arms and my Stooge. We could intervene on this. Berthold has become wounded, and he is my Master of Arms, so I kind of would like him to stay alive. We visited Sant Apollinaire Nuovo. And we're in more danger. Contested ground. The scars of war are everywhere to be seen as we pass through Perugia, where the banners have been hastily replaced with the Spoletan colors. We're lucky to have missed the conflict itself, at least, though. Who knows the final outcome? As we continue on to Roma, a fearsome group of veterans approaches from the opposite direction. Blend in with the peasants. I am Boss Joseph. They will let us pass. 0% chance. Show of force. Chance to gain some prestige. Or I could bribe this dweeb. I don't want him. A show of force will deter them. You are left alone. We visited the Grand Cathedral, the capital of the papacy, the Colosseum, the great city of Roma, and have gained a diplomacy perk as well along the way. Opinion gained with officers recruited via Scout for Talent. Sway phase length is better. Contract prestige rewards 20%. That would be pretty good. I feel like that's fitting as well. All right, we got ambush travelers. We got burned property. We got some jobs to do. We are sick, which isn't great for us right now, but we'll just go do some crime. Nothing like robbing the Italian countryside. This is really screwing me up here being ill. I'm a level 4 bandit. The law of light doesn't extend far beyond the city walls. Out here, might makes right. Do you get anything at like max level? Just prestige per dread? And most people hate you? All previous levels also apply. Max murder schemes for being a marauder. Diplomacy per level of fame. Let's surround them and see if they'll pay. They surrender. Our journey has brought us through Cortona, which was once a lonely village, a ghost of what it used to be. Piles of rubble that were once homes, seethed smoke, choked at the destruction of the hands of a ruthless army. Weeping and covered with grime, a man searches for what might have been his farm, anything left of his possessions. He notices us clearly out of place and darts towards our entourage. Kill him. I'm not playing risks here. This morning we sight a distant train of people. At the front is Mayor Constant, according to my scouts, leading the rest along their winding way. With the mayor at their head, yada yada yada. What do we want to do? Try to surround them. Yep, they surrender. My time in Ravenna has proved beneficial for my daughter Murder. Something about the local culture simply fascinates her, so much so that she's managed to pick up passable Italian vulgar. Wow. Smart girl. I need prestige. We do some good banditry. But we're having like the worst time going through these mountains. Macus shouts out in a panic, "Ditch!" Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound. My wagon wheel is in splinters. That's fine. Delayed 5 days. Back to Cortona. Another woman comes rushing at us. We stab her. And then flex on some guards. Oh my god. This one again. A nauseating meal for 5 years. Yeah, it's fine. A bit of mold. A fine day like this, the weather is nice, the pastures of Viterbro look great, and the local livestock are positively jumping and cheering in their own guttural manner. Calves are walking next to their mothers, their fur shiny and clean. The place is completely run, very competently run, though I do notice a couple of oddities that I would manage a bit differently. A fine morning to you, says the local patriarch. My lord, are these beauties not a sight to behold? We can improve their pastures for 15 years. And form a friendship with the Pope? Yes, please. Let's try for that. Absolutely. I'm going to do that. How are we doing on the old sickness thing here? Reduce disease symptoms is good. They say children react more than anyone else to the places they find themselves. It's fortunate for Murdar that she finds herself in the company of the most cunning thieves, ruthless bandits, and vicious scums I've ever been able to gather. A fine environment for a young girl to grow up in, and one where she deems determined to take many lessons to heart. Oh yeah, this attitude will serve her well. Arbitrary. Oh, well, actually, that's kind of good. We are no longer sick. Got jobs all over the goddamn place here. Now it's really starting to cook. We can burn down the Vatican. Oh no, we can. Oh, that's very good. We can get patronized by the Vatican. Ooh, because we have a Master of Arms, this method will preserve your anonymity. This duel is decided by the officer's aptitude. 88% chance. I think we can just do this on a 92. And rock it that way. Good plan begets swift victory, and the burning ruins of the tavern are simple proof. Speed and stealth, not to mention a lack of sober opposition. My followers and I swiftly set multiple fires. The flames did the work, and we had to return to the morning to check on the results. The bishop will be more happy to hand over our pay. Oh, hilarious. And now we can also still brag about it and get that bandit experience. So we might as well do that. Gonna upgrade the supply tent as well. And rob the Count of Orvieto. Yeah, the country control down here is still really bad. All right. Everywhere we travel in Italy is a risk. But it's all kind of good risks. Macus, Edred, my wife, Getty, Macus. Macus has to be the footpad. Getty has to be that infiltrator. I need better thieves. Patient, deceitful, intrigue, prowess. We're going to have to start keeping an eye on that kind of stuff. This guy hates my guts. Oh, he owns the thing that we just burned down. And now I'm robbing him? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Am I going to accidentally make some very mean enemies? I love the idea of the Pope just hiring a bunch of bandits. I don't think... We investigated Miss Shaolin before... And she wasn't banging anyone else, so... I have faith in her. I'm choosing to believe. All right, we're also gonna just do a quick smash and grab here. Failure! Dude. Can't believe we're failing all these lately. We still haven't managed to find something like a multi... Every single contract I've found has been 2 stars. There's a tournament. An archery contest. So we can go to tournaments. But we do, I guess, have to be invited to them. Going to a university might not also be a bad idea for us. But let's just do a little crime first. Just just a quick little crime. Let my guys beat each other up. Rome, Vatican, a good place to find thieves? I mean, it feels right, right? Do you have anything poisonous? Oh, that's fun. We're burning something down. We're not killing somebody. Honestly, we're just so good at doing this. We can brag about it if we want. We are almost a max level bandit. Blades for hire. I've heard tell of the military exploits of the legendary Sicilian mercenaries. As I'm passing through Capua, I am fortunate enough to come across a highly skilled mercenary commander. Gisufu claims he is the finest Sicilian swordsman in the world and would be honored to serve for the right price. 15 bucks. Sold. The wetlands of Capua are swarming with tiny, dark, blood-sucking insects. No matter what we do or where we go, there they are, leeching our bloods like a torturous cloud. And not only are the horses getting flighty and temperamental, but my entourage is as well, especially Eadrid, who is furiously flailing his sanguine-covered arms. Eadrid strip down and walk in the front. Drained by mosquitoes for 6 years. No raiment for 1 year. Every entourage has a 50% chance of getting drained by mosquitoes. Or I get a critical break because I'm callous. Bandits are as bandit do. Yeah, I feel like we really crushed the crime here quite quickly. We're going to pick up Fabricate Hook. Exposing secrets gives prestige based on the rank of the target. So that's the way to really get prestige, I think. Passage of Arms. But I would lose banditry. Solicit charity. Fight corruption. Ah, this is a counselor job. Where do we want to go here? It looks like Italy is getting itself a bit figured out. I don't think any of these universities have been made. Do we head for Greece? Do we make our ways to the Holy Lands? Perhaps we can pop down to Salerno for a little while. Who was the bishop that we made friends with? This guy? Eager Explorer contract. I've never seen this. The curious bishop seeks company and protection during his next escapade. A transport contract requiring you to travel to a distant country. You gain 180 prestige. Leaving his laden mule huffing away outside, the Bishop of the Vaticano is ushered into my tent. It said you're a man of the world, perhaps one with gall enough to venture far enough to an ever-curious explorer like myself. Wayfarers fawn over the Kingdom of Italy as having a grand and most beauteous capital, perhaps the finest in all the lands. Take me to the barony of Milano. Protect me on the road. I guess we might as well just move the whole camp. Considering we have to go back through this hellscape. Gruff. Ain't no jobs to be done anywhere. Pope Alexander's Edict of Expulsion cancels and nullifies any and all contracts you were taking or might have taken in the papacy. Well, that was kind of rude, Pope. Consider yourself warned. You and your ilk have outstayed your welcome in the papacy. If you don't take your camp elsewhere, I shall be forced to consider you a fugitive and make you leave. Seduce? I wish I could kidnap the Pope. Dang, some of these guys are pretty good. How do I get the bishop to help me fabricate a job on the old Pope here? I don't feel like we need secrecy very well, but getting down this phase timer would be really helpful. Ah, if I have scheme advantages, I could convince him. A resentful Craven thinks this is too dangerous. That was not what I wanted there. Oh, I guess it is. It's going to take a lot of days to get through the phases here, but I do like the idea of blackmailing the Pope. My first playthrough is going to be an adventure in the Papal lands as an Orthodox. That's very fun. I love that idea. I really want to do like an Irish priest goes to India. Though I have a feeling I wouldn't last very long. The fields of Cremona are a sight to behold. Every crop in bloom, every leaf green, every stem luscious. Track down the source of this verdancy, spotting a man standing in the field. My name is Master Lodovico. My knowledge of gardening is vast, so stay a while and listen. Stay a while and listen. The boss doing gardening. I'm ambitious, though. I don't know, man. The boss doing gardening just doesn't fit. Confidence trickster. Mug wealthy citizens of mug wealthy citizens. We've never done a confidence trickster. Wise and seditious perceptive Prince Billup of Cremona, which is entertainment for the season. But everywhere we go just sucks. We gotta hire mercs like in every job. Poor gullible little Benedictus. He might be the Prince Bishop, but he's no smarter than an average backwater tavern drunkard, merely richer. 100% chance of secrecy, but very low chance of success. So why don't we increase that? And I am seeing the problem. We're gonna ditch this hook. Because it's not paying us. Perfect. It's literally the top choice for everyone. 100%. A tumbler. Dancing, prancing, cavorting, and cavolting. Window or wall, I fall like a cat and spring like a sparrow. This is my new Italian knight. Gesù flew the Sicilian. Intention to take back the papacy as an orthodox? That would be fun. Definitely would work. Our eventual goal is to rob the Prince Bishop with as much wealth as we can trick him into giving. But until then, the better he thinks of us, the better our eventual chances. He hates our guts. Good graces. Our maximum success chance is already 100. This is beneath me. I'm not sucking up to some bishop. We're trying to rob him. Rob him blind. Yeah, I'm really excited because there's all sorts of cool new stuff. Like, this is the thing. This expansion has all this adventurer stuff, but then there's also an entire other section all around the Byzantines and like administrative empires and so much stuff. Murder is at the age where a child absorbs everything. Through prudent circumstances prevents me from giving her the finest of education. The young lass seems no less eager to learn for it. Instead of the tutors and books that someone of more fixed wealth might feel entitled to, she roams the camp shadowing my officers. What are you good at right now? You're charming and arbitrary. Stewardship, learning, prowess, martial prowess, diplomacy, martial. None of them are intrigue. I guess diplomacy. Deceitful, ambitious. She is intrigue focused right now, so giving her deceitful would be really good. You lied to me. Never. You're lying now. Badly. When will you learn to keep lies small but constant, all with the sweet flavor of truth? Wish you to be a great woman. The world is a snake pit, and only the most cunning suns herself atop of the heap. You're the snake I love the most, lies Murdar. Atta girl. And we've had a son, Joseph Dastardly. Not only is he a son, he's an intelligent son. He is much better than Hans Dastardly. Can I make you my heir? Camp succession will be given to your oldest child. We're going to have to think about that. Oh, this also costs prestige. We have time to play that out. Gave her diplomacy and took it with the intrigue, if I noticed correctly. Thought there was something like learning. Well, I mean, the diplomacy will still be useful for her. If anything, it just kind of balances out a little bit this way. Life in quarters tends to magnify relationships. Idrid and Berthold, their common interests are proving to be a strong bonding agent. Good for them. Who is like breaking apart friendships? That's what I want to know. Who is playing this game and being like, oh no, we'd break those apart. The Prince Bishop has his court and I have mine. The difference is where Benedict's retainers are content to live off his largesse, my followers are determined to help me help myself to a little of that same wealth. Spend my time working towards our eventual payday, and they in turn can rob him blind when he's preoccupied. Eadrid. Schoenlin. Oh, these are hard. The prince pays money to us. We give provisions. We gain thief traits. Go after the gardens for provisions and poacher traits. Provisions. $25, $50. I mean, I'd rather the $50. Ealdred the Honest doesn't have the trait Gallows Bait. I can't make him do it. He's my honest man. I can't make he's my front man. He's who I gotta send to deal with other people. But my wife, on the other hand. Yes. Yes. Join me in crime together. Can I try to romance you again? I totally can. I appreciate that there's long-term money to be had when you trick it from the willing hands and take it from the careless ones. I know and understand it. Yet, as I roam the prince's court looking at the wealth he's casually stored, I can't help but wonder if we can't dip a little into alternative ways. Pin a blatant theft on our stooge, which will also lose me stress. Scale some walls. That'll give me thief. Let's scale some walls. You return after dark. And I'm going to win a sparring match to impress my wife. As we begin to spar, a crowd gathers in their chairs, soon draw none other than my wife. The soldier fights valiantly, but I disarm him with a final flawless thrust. I kneel before her and declare my noble intentions. I dedicate this victory to you. Bringing honor is my only desire. Yeah, we're going to succeed on that for sure. This is going to take some time, though. I probably should try to do schemes faster. Let those dweebs fight each other. We'll take the prestige. And what do we need? 2,000 prestige to become the bandit's benefactor. I really want to know what like the unique men-at-arms are. The Wild Hunt. With what must have been a moment, felt like an hour, I've reached a clearing, and Shoinlin is on the ground, disheveled and weaponless. Opposite her, about to strike, stands a huge stag. My arrow strikes true, and the beast falls to the ground. For a moment, all we can do is stare. But then she stumbles towards me and throws herself into my arms. Might lose stress because we're rakish. Yay! From a wolf? I thought it said a stag, but... we gained a level of fame as well. We're now distinguished. Look at us go. Hans's shrieking could wake the dead. I said it isn't fair. Why do we have to live out here like this? We're not animals roaming from place to place. No palaces, no castle, not even beds. I didn't ask for poverty, and I deserve better. Through the screaming and the outrage, I can see that my son's frustration is real. Fair? You're a dastardly. Stand up straight. 35% chance you gain the trait melancholic. Yeah, no, tell him to stand up straight. He calms down. He respects us. He gains a martial perk. There's all sorts of like faction warfare going on here too. Lots of mugging to be done. Rescue a fair subject. I like that you can be a good guy knight as well. Father, look what I found. It's a puppy, cries Murder. St. Catherine knows where she picked it up, but despite the awkward moment, the animal seems very excited to be here. Yeah, absolutely. You can have a pet dog. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to stop that. What kind of father would I be? Not a very good one, that's for sure. Ah, this keeps going down is what's happening. The edge of camp, my daughter Murder is leading several others in a mock cavalry charge across a patch of ground, battering small sticks and branches at imaginary foes as they send an illusionary foe skittering away in fear. After a moment, she catches sight of me. The girl beams in my direction, clearly hovering between taking her playmates back towards camp or pushing out a little further into the wilds. Stay within sight or go on and explore. Stay within sight. This is Italy, after all. When I was in a castle town with Murder, her attention was caught by a criminal chained in the pillory. Compassionate. Loses arrogant. Picks up callous. Yes. Spit on him, beat him, he deserves nothing less, says one thief to another. This is how I feel about people who have been caught. Only a good thief never gets caught. Two of my agents seem to have found common cause. Macus's diplomacy increases by 2. Scheme phase is faster. I gotta cut down on the scheme phase because it's taking forever. Macus has been working towards a side hustle. We could take some money. Macus is also not a Gallows Bane. But he is now. The campfire crackles, illuminating a figure into our circle. You have place for a man of God. I might as well. The prince has his court and I have mine. The difference is I want his money. After the gardens, the larders, the house. Slowly robbing my way through. All right, exposing secrets gives prestige based on the rank of the target. Schemes using grace begin with an extra 4 months of it. Search for secrets travel option. Murder phase length 120 days faster per scheme phase. That's also very good. I just want this prestige bump. Now I can just expose people's secrets and get free prestige. Newton, welcome back. Things got messy. You get a little TPK in that D&D session. If we get up to like 80 and 20, we'd be good. My daughter is worried about getting kicked from a horse. Was I this scared when my father taught me to ride, I ask. Don't be afraid to crack the whip. Gain confidence. Or chance of her becoming wounded. Master the horse or I'll toss ya. No. Don't be afraid to crack the whip. I'm doing it, Dad. I'm doing it. Listen, what a good dad I am. I'm crushing the dad job here. A TCK? So not a total party kill, but a total cleric kill? Total companion kill? Listen, it's taking us a really long time to rob this guy, but man, we are robbing him quite a lot. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. You want some food. Successful. 87. If I execute a scheme at 15, that'll bump us up all the way. 95 is our cap. I think it's time to get out of this contract. What lovely gifts the prince has given us when he's in the mood. A very worthwhile return on my time, though sadly, perhaps not on his. Can't be helped, the fool and his money and all that. He'll figure it out shortly, or someone will finally manage to explain what happens, but it doesn't matter. We got ours. Ooh, a grand tournament, you say? Not sure what is like the most value for us to upgrade here. Oh. Oh. Any of these we upgrade to level 3, we get another internal slot. That's huge. Kill the cleric. Total city kill. Ooh, that's rough. That's always a tough choice. Follow the wrong god, you murder hobo in an entire city. Yeah, we have attachments in all the parts of camp, but if you upgrade to level 3, we get a second attachment, which I didn't realize. And the attachments are really good. Trying to protect against the attack of the God Killer worked well for 2 sessions. One Bone Lord got into position to chain lightning all the NPC fighters. Oof. All it takes, one good chain lightning. Can I not? I don't have search for secrets yet, do I? All right, we're gonna do some like quick robbing of people. Traversing the hills on the outskirts of Monza, we're suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders out for blood. Surely the mayor will send help. As time drags on, we are chased by the scoundrels for the longest, avoiding battle. It becomes painfully clear that no help is coming. My knight rides up to me. We both know the tactic he has practiced in the past. We stand as one. 54% chance we survive, 45% chance we die. Ildred. My second in command. You know what to do. Oh. That is rough. I guess my wife just got a promotion. Good grief. I can't believe that. We're going to do some back alley robbing here. Get these schemes nice and fast. Murder Hope and a Demigoddess, so it's not beyond anymore. I mean, it's only a Demigoddess, right? That only half counts. As long as you don't, as long as you're not murder hoboing full goddess. My success chance here is a max of 30. Are you for real? Oh, that's not good. You can get 50 if we go to max schemes. Father, I have a request. Stammers my daughter. Behind her, links a gangly Sisyphine use. This is Ulrico. I really like him. I was wondering if he could come with us as parents too. Bianca. And Michelle. These guys suck. You're not bad. You're actually really good. You have all of the intrigue perks. I'm just going to assume it's a... Yeah. The crush fades. Don't worry, you're young. Be over it before you know. Super sad. Two of the NPCs were always surviving on the last HP. There was one NPC we adored after 14 rounds. Out of stuff. I mean, killing NPCs is truly like the greatest pet tool a DM has. Just find the NPCs that they really love. And just slowly make sure they get gutted. We have an attachment open in camp. No, I don't think we do. Oh. That's weird. I guess it unlocked at level 2. Diligent? Yeah, I mean, I guess why not? Ah, it just unlocks another one at every level, basically. Well, we're gonna get the archer captain here probably. Not weird. It's not paying attention. All the other ones upgraded at level 3, so I'm surprised that one of them is the other way. I've decided that now I'm a man, I need to have my own tent. No more sharing with anyone. The youth stands still. Spiel finish, petulant defiance oozing from his posture. I will not budge on this. You want it. Earn it. You're a child till I say otherwise. No, I'm going to tell him he's a child. Oh! We got kicked out of the King of Italy. I was so close. All right, well, what's going on here then? Dude, I hate Italy. It is just full of disasters. Wolfrin, your husband is dead. We press onwards. Let's get the hell out of here. But to where? This is truly the question of where to ask. Which location do the rogues of Warwickshire go next? We're just shy of unlocking the final level of Bandit. People truly, truly hate our guts. But Gallows Bay people love us. We're becoming a better criminal all the time. We're still only 36. We're still pretty young. Boss Joseph. I think the world is our oyster. And we could kind of go anywhere we want. It's an interesting little flag. I think we can think about it. Because I think this is also all the time we got for today. And it seems like a perfect little place to leave Boss Joseph. Kicked out of the papacy, kicked out of Italy. He could go anywhere he wants right now. We're going to play a little bit more of this, or possibly start a new adventure campaign tomorrow and check out some of the other stuff that it has to offer. So I hope you'll rejoin us again then. In the meantime, thanks for joining us now.